Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Wow! Up and over the roof! A majestic blast! Really takes off. Durbin, a high fly ball to right. Pages, he is there, he's got it, and the ball game is over, and the Los Angeles Dodgers have won the National League pennant.
Mendoza, soft roll to the right, finds his man, reaching for the end zone, for the touchdown is Williams.
Straight ahead, design run, there's a bear on the loose in Provo, Buckmeyer is in, touchdown! They rush three, back climbs the pocket, and throws, and a sliding catch is made at the 30-yard line for a first down by C.J. Daniels. First down at the 31 would be about a 49-yard attempt from here for the Canes. And Beck will throw, gets rid of it quickly, and it is almost picked off. It is! It's intercepted! T.J. Capers looked like it was tipped at the line, and Beck throws his fourth pick of the game, and that one was a killer. The Cardinals come to Miami and knock off number 2.
Kick from right to left. Scanman Cook to hold. Kevin Gallick to snap. Snap back, hold is down, the right-footed kick, end over end, and this one is perfect.
Obviously very disappointing. Credit to them. They were the more physical team. They made the plays they needed to make, and they beat us pretty convincingly. So hats off to them, and obviously disappointed for our guys.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. How you doing?
I'm on fumes.
You hanging in there?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Game week.
Rocking the ribbon?
Oh, yeah. I'm sick of cancer. Breast, brain, whatever.
Yeah, just pick one. We're done with it.
Just pick one.
Yeah.
Kind of over it. Pancreatic, any of them. Lung, they all rot.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I also am anti-cancer.
And one thing we'll probably agree on today.
Might be the only thing.
Yep. Off to a really rocky start off here, so we'll just go ahead and see how this one goes.
Like Marciano or Balboa?
Man, straight Balboa. I'm not a Marciano guy.
Yeah.
No.
It's kind of a plotter. I think he's a little overrated.
Not historically at all. Like I try to study that stuff, and I don't know.
I think he's a little overrated. You can say it.
I wouldn't say overrated for the era. I'm just looking at everything in its totality. I mean, he did what he had to do.
You don't think the skills from that era necessarily translate across eras very well?
No, and I think he gets a lot of credit for, when he fought guys.
Sure.
Some guys have been a victim of that.
Yeah.
Other guys.
Bud's been a victim of that.
Other guys get their career ascension because of it. So, I mean, to each his own.
There's your little boxing history lesson for this morning.
Good job by your Niners last night.
I was happy with it.
I was
gritty.
I was pleased with Ohtani for once. That was good.
I'd be hard not to be on Friday. I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
So, do you think there's like casual baseball fans? I mean, I know there's casual baseball fans, but do you think there's casual baseball fans that are like, who was this Ohtani guy? Because he's been because he's been with the Angels and just in purgatory for they're like, hey, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he's brand new.
Yeah, like where'd he come from?
Kind of like how Shane acts sometimes, all brand new.
Yeah.
Shane, you over there acting brand new? That's what the kids say.
Brand new, absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you have a preference on who you want to face?
No. Let's get it.
Yeah, just get going.
Yeah. I am.
You happy they're wearing themselves out?
Yes. Although last night I was definitely cheering. I'm cheering for the Mariners.
I am too.
Like I'm all in on the Mariners.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they figure it out. It's just a couple of bad stretches with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
And but they're right there. I mean, it's a fantastic series.
But yeah.
And quietly, it's a nice little uniform game too.
For sure.
I know baseball guys don't listen and don't at me for calling them what I called them their uniforms because uniforms are uniforms. But yeah, I like the contrasts and it fits my eye for television. Not kind of like Bijan and McCaffrey or
that's about as good of a. I mean, unless like Barkley and Henry face up, like it's about as good of a running back matchup as you'll get.
Yeah.
McCaffrey and Bijan.
And it's good to see that your guys remembered how to run the football.
Yeah, it's like how Shanahan was like, wait a second, I used to be good at this. What happened?
He's just, newsflash. People will hold the big game record.
He's pretty good.
Dude's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Like that roster is just okay.
Well, like especially now.
It's decimated. And
a lot of young guys.
They're just figuring it out. And God, I'm ashy. You know what it is?
It's the weather change.
No, not at all.
Oh,
it's,
okay.
So I, using hotel soap for.
Oh.
And I bring my own too.
Yeah.
But.
You had multiple days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then this morning I made the mistake of using a scented soap. I did not use my bar soap until the end.
Oh. Yeah, you never use scented, do you?
Yeah, it's I have a routine and I got distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got this little knucklehead little girl that got to make, I have a pet peeve and kids I know. You know how kids leave excess toothpaste in their toothbrush?
I don't, but I believe you.
Yeah, that's true. What would you know? Well, do you leave excess toothpaste in your toothbrush?
No, I wash mine off when I'm done.
Okay, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? My OCD was in full effect this weekend. Oh my gosh, it's horrible.
How was the fish?
Did you like that?
That was pretty good. I didn't think that was an OCD thing. When I put it away, I was like, this doesn't feel like a true vacuum.
Yeah, like I re-vacuum sealed everything that Kendall sent.
No, that was good high quality fish. You got to make sure it's all ready to go.
I can't wait.
Yeah. If you were just going to there was a lot of it. But if you weren't going to freeze it, I would understand not re-vacuum sealing it.
So do you know what one of those one of those was?
So
I thought it was calamari.
Was it scallops?
It's razor clams.
Oh, I thought one of them might have been scallops.
No.
I've never had razor clams, I don't think.
Well, I was on TikTok.
Yeah.
I know what to do. I don't know who's going to eat it all with me.
You call me. I'll eat seafood
So
anytime.
you know what I should have done?
Yeah.
Is since I was re-vacuum sealed it all anyway, is separated it.
Oh, into like smaller portions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that salmon, though?
Dude, that looked great. That looked great. I was like,
I'm smashing that halibut.
Big ol'.
Again, I don't know who's eating it with me. Micah will.
Yeah.
Micah will rock with me. And, it was – obviously, I'm on fumes. We got in Saturday morning at 2 – I opened my garage at 2:31.
Oh.
I had to be at Westside by 7. I think I surprised the staff, but they were happy to see me, so that was good. And I needed to be around those guys.
Oh, so you needed it, yeah.
And then, obviously, Saturday day was long.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't go to bed Saturday night.
That doesn't.
And then Sunday I had to
me.
be at Channel 7. So we just started the whole thing over. And then we zoomed at 12:30.
So
I like our game plan this week.
What time did you leave Minneapolis?
I bet it was wheels up at 12:50 maybe.
Ooh, that's later than I thought.
12:50.
Did it take longer than normal for some reason?
It was a long, stupid, drawn-out, idiotic game.
It was a very stupid game. I agree there.
One
of the dumber games I've seen.
So I'm super pissed at myself, but I have to be around them a little while longer.
Yeah,
because I had a hard time discerning between being dialed and just quiet versus not having any juice.
Yeah,
and they clearly had no juice.
Yeah, that was a no juice game for sure.
No juice,
like none at all.
And there's a couple things, man. I don't know. They got to take ownership over the fact, number one. And I'm glad there's a guy, MRI and I like, because this doesn't come through, excuse me, it doesn't always come through on the broadcast because, of course, I don't have a dry erase board. Sure. But a couple times I said to Kyle, I'm like, Minnesota's pre-snap looks defensively were spectacular.
Yeah.
I briefly got into like some inverted cover too, but it's not great radio. So I didn't.
You want me to grab the whiteboard?
So, but I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Right. And I can see, they'll play 2-man because they don't really think that Dylan can run. You saw him the scramble late, how he could run for about 6 years. That's why people don't play 2-man against scrambling
mobile
quarterbacks.
Yeah. And he tried a couple times early to run.
Yeah. So, like what they were doing, I thought Collins had a really good game plan. I also noticed how they rearranged the deck chairs, and it clearly was not on the Titanic. That was not a sinking ship up front.
Oh, for the offensive line. Yeah,
Yep.
that looked.
Everybody started in a different. Not everybody. Center state. No, just about everybody but left guard.
I think everybody switched.
So, but then I pit that against. Listen, you get down blocks.
Mm-hmm.
I could pull a good high school offensive lineman off the street, and I could say, hey, you get a down block. What are you going to do? I guarantee you 95% of them would say squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Could not for the life of me figure out why on a couple of plays you just lose yourself and you get vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's down, you squeeze, restrict the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska gets vertical. Then you get 2 linebackers that fit in the run game, and you clearly I'll screenshot it for you. But get your head and thump on the correct side. You cannot be tentative.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to fit that. You've got to get that thing in a hallway for your alley runners.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, as alley runners, you can't.
You got to get down there, man.
Listen.
I mean, you saw the screenshot I sent you, right?
Listen. Anecdotally,
yeah.
And I don't know, this might be a stupid guys that like film.
Mm-hmm.
Anecdotally, this is what I want to say, and I'm not sure I'm right. I feel like I am.
Okay.
Every run of over 20 yards or more, in particular the ones that have gone for touchdowns, they are eerily similar. Yeah. If you think this isn't a copycat league, you're kidding yourself. I was doing the breakdown with Eddie yesterday at Channel 7, and it felt like Michigan.
Yeah.
It did. And I go back to the one that Ray had for Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same thing. So, Nebraska got some options.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They could do one of a handful of things.
Okay. What are my options?
You could continue to teach what you teach
mm-hmm.
and try to find the right combination to pull it off. I mean, they clearly were going at a couple guys.
Yeah.
Clearly were targeting a couple guys.
Absolutely.
So
both in run and pass game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And there are 2 guys on there. There are 2 guys that are really, really close to them that I knew. I told you off air, and I tried to ask Burns this.
Mm-hmm.
He was having none of it. I felt like quietly there were a couple guys in Nebraska secondary that Minnesota was like, yeah, they're not. I don't think they're what the stats say.
Mm.
And I asked the question. You go back and listen to it. I'm like, hey, I kind of feel like there's this thing. Do you think Nebraska secondary is what the numbers say? So that's one thing. So you can coach what you do, find the right guys, have some conviction, just coach it up.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep doing what you do personnel-wise.
And hey, these are my right guys.
And play
to their strengths.
And play to the strengths.
Sure.
Or you can play new guys, new scheme-ish. Because
you can just keep banging your head against the wall doing the same thing with the same guys and have the same results.
Yeah, that's what I hope. So the last
hope
one
is
not it.
Yeah, you hope that's not it.
I hope that's not it. So for me, it's not. I don't know. People want me to be doom and gloom. I'm not. What I did say is, and I've said this here, you've been able to get away with some things because you're winning.
Mm-hmm.
You just have.
But the Maryland run's a good example of it, right?
You're still doing some of the things that.
I mean, what was one of the things I was frustrated most about in the offseason?
Well,
kind of in this area that we're talking about. I blamed it on one guy, but it was probably more of a unit problem.
Go ahead.
I was really frustrated with what I thought was a Deshaun Singleton problem getting downhill.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't a Deshaun Singleton problem. It's a group problem.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because for the most part, I didn't think Deshaun had a very good game either. But I didn't think very many people in the secondary did. But I thought it was specifically a Deshaun problem. For the most part, he's been a lot better this year. But he also moves spots, right? So I think there's been a problem with guys in kind of the safety roles getting downhill, getting those run fits. Because I sent you a screenshot, and there's multiple guys. I sent you a screenshot where the ball had been handed off a full 3 seconds ago, right? It was a slow developing stretch play to the outside or outside zone. I don't know if it was a stretch or an outside zone, but what I believe was the free runner hitter, the guy that should have been the last free man to make the tackle, because everybody else did a pretty good job, I thought, of taking on blocks.
Just slow to trigger.
And making it messy for the running back if your free runner hitter gets downhill. He was still 12 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so
3 seconds into the play. And there wasn't like a hard play action or boot or anything.
So short of just sitting down asking.
And that's the one that went for 70.
If there's conflict of interest in terms of like fitting out of quarters, because there's some interesting little tidbits like early in the season with the press conferences about, I don't really, where Coach Rule kind of alluded to not liking to fit or play quarters. And I said, and in my head, like I know it's you have to really, really rep fitting out of quarters because your keys are your keys, right? Whether you're reading number 2s, whether you're the +1, like it's not really a fast kind of downhill deal. But when you play too high, you have to be able to get into the box. So there's some conflict there.
So let me.
It's just some really like football-y things that are coming to play. So schematically, they're going to have to.
Can I ask this question? Because I think
it's your show. You can do what you want.
It bothered me in a couple different areas. Obviously, the run fits are one area, and I don't know if this actually helps that or not. But also those shallow crossers where guys are just running free across the formation.
So Minnesota was winning at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
So
what's the, like, if that happens and you're like, hey, I don't want that to happen anymore, like, what are your alternatives?
They can't win inside.
Okay. So you have to force them outside leverage, basically?
Just can't win inside.
Because
if that's how you're going to play it.
Well, so
you cannot allow your guys to win at the line of scrimmage inside.
So here's my question.
And Minnesota was winning.
Is there another way to play it that makes it more difficult for Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, you can have them to the inside and give away
the outs.
You could give away the sidelines. It's a little further for your safeties to run. Like if you play 2, if they've got to get over the top, or in quarters, like you don't have. I mean, they can throw it over your head. So, you saw the one they dropped in the bucket to Brockington.
Yeah, on the touchdown.
Yes. So they had been getting inside. So he's like, okay. It's decent. It was pretty good coverage.
I thought so. That's a perfect throw. Like I can live with that.
Drop it in. So, but that's the alternative is to turn and run and try to get to the top shoulder. Because a couple times before that, they would win inside, and then it just becomes a foot race across the field.
So as a fan, and I know this is why I'm asking you, because I'm wondering as like a player coach, do you feel better about, hey, they dropped it in the bucket, we were where we were supposed to be, versus, hey, this guy's just running free all day? Because as a fan, I'm like, I can live with that. I can live with the touchdown that he drops in the bucket.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, if that were
if you make a perfect throw, like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with that.
I'm with you. That
doesn't make me want to pull my hair out. That's like, hey, great play.
Yeah, but the bigger concern, though, like I still think we're kind of missing the mark.
Okay.
You have to play better offensively.
100%. You said that on the broadcast. You said, like, hey, I don't love the 336 for Minnesota, but the, 150 for Nebraska is the real problem.
That's the real problem.
Sure, 100%.
So
you want to get into that? Let's get into that.
I mean, you and I get it.
Because I did my thing again.
What's that?
With my counting exercise. I just felt like it was necessary. Because I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you, DB. The post-game show was rough. That wasn't great.
Oh, mercy me, man. I can only imagine.
4, 6, 8, 12.
And I mean, listen, I understand.
Look, 3 of those sacks. I'm looking at it. We did it on the breakdown and I could very well be wrong.
No, you want to know the numbers? Because I got the numbers. I counted.
I could very well be wrong. But on the 3 that we cut up, just check that thing down. Just check it on down. So
there were 9 sacks, right?
Yeah.
So I did my thing again where I counted 3 seconds, and I charted the entire game on 38 dropbacks.
So this might have been worse than the first time you did it.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
He didn't get the same number of dropbacks, so it probably skewed the numbers a little. Okay.
So only 3 times was there pressure in less than 3 seconds on 38 dropbacks.
That's
3 times.
And one of them came off the edge where Corcoran got beat right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the one where he one of them was Gatula and Emmett Johnson.
Yeah, it wasn't Corcoran. It was Gatula. But do you know what I think happened?
I think it was miscommunication. But
That's what I think, too.
Yeah.
I think he was supposed to get back help.
Yes.
But that
one
happened
of them,
two.
One of them had the wrong assignment.
So that was kind of I got to ask. Because I'm dying to know what the processes was like between back help, staying big on big, and chipping. Because it seemed disjointed.
So there were two of those 3. Here's what happened. The miscommunication with Gatula and Emmett Johnson, whatever that was.
Yeah, the one where Emmett got smoked in pass pro.
That was number 2.
Yeah.
Which is not an offensive line problem. I get it's a protection problem. But there's one where Emmett just gets trucked, and it's immediately on.
Hey, he was a dude, too. 6 was nice, wasn't
Yes, he was. And listen, I'll give it to Emmett. Like, he tried to stick in there, and he just got railroaded. Like,
that. I've been listening.
It is what it is, right?
But I've been ran over
like,
the
if
top
you're yelling about Donnie, like, that one wasn't on Donnie. So the miscommunication, that's still an offensive line, sure. So, but there was only 3.
Yeah.
On 38 dropbacks, he had at least 3 seconds or got rid of the ball in less than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
35 of the 38 times. He had more than 3 seconds 23 times.
But listen, though, twice you gave up sacks with a 3-man pressure and then rushing 2.
Yeah.
So here's the conundrum, though. Like, you shouldn't get home with 2.
100%.
But you also have a ton in coverage.
Yeah.
So
you've got a long time, like, and with Dylan not wanting to force the ball, that's kind of who he is.
But the one thing they gotta really take a look at in like their scramble drills and things like that, you cannot go backwards. You have to go right to left or forward.
He goes backwards a lot.
But they buy time going backwards, and I get that's the natural inclination.
Can't do it.
But
he's not athletic enough.
You have to get out of that.
He is not athletic enough for that.
So, but I'm not. Again, and I don't know enough, and I'm telling you, short of like 5 people that talked the whole time afterwards, nobody said a word.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just quiet as a church mouse, which is what you want, right? I mean, that was. Yeah.
You don't want people feeling happy after a game like that.
Well, the thing that I had to refrain from is one of the things, and I tried to say this all week, because this happened with Iowa early, and finally Nebraska figured it out. When somebody hates your guts and they want to do bad things to you, you have to fight fire with fire. I said all week, hey, man.
There's animosity there.
There's animosity here. Minnesota doesn't like you.
I was thinking.
Listen, Minnesota doesn't like you. That
when you kept asking that, I thought you meant the fans.
Well, that was part of it.
That's how I took it.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
They were saying F Nebraska 4 minutes into warming up.
Yeah.
No, they were chanting F Nebraska 4 minutes into warming up.
That's wild. That's wild. You don't think
so.
That's a Wisconsin thing. I would think.
Or Iowa.
Yeah.
Right. One of my famous meltdowns. It was the TA interception game. And I'm like, and I asked Brandon Ryan, I'm like, aren't you guys sick of like a team just hating your guts and you guys taking it?
Yeah.
They just didn't match. They didn't match Minnesota's juice. And I'm telling you.
Yeah, you got the energy.
Sure as I'm sitting here. Sure as I'm sitting here. Like, they just think when Nebraska comes to town
that they can punk them.
Yep. That's the most
that's the part that sucks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like whatever else, Nebraska got punked.
That's the part that really hurts my feelings. We can make it about a lot of other things.
And there are a lot of other
Minnesota
things.
Just
they whooped
simply played
They whooped them
harder.
Yes. And that is the most frustrating thing.
Distractions my ass. That team knows right Whatever Coach Rule told them, the team believe. Don't give me that distraction crap.
No, that was a Minnesota thing, I thought.
That's
in terms of
low-hanging fruit for fans and media. Listen, I get the human. You know what's just as much human nature? Because I heard this a lot. What's human nature? Like you hear this, that, and the other. It's human nature. Why can you'll naturally be? You know what else is human nature?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody's trying to kick your ass, you fight back.
Yeah,
that's human nature.
Yeah,
especially in that sport. So don't give me that distraction crap. Don't, because they got choices.
Yeah,
right. You can be a little concerned that everybody else except who matters is talking. Fine. You are 18 to 24-year-olds. You can hear things. Mm-hmm. But you know what else happens? In that sport, with tough people playing a tough sport, you fight back.
Yeah.
That's just as much human nature.
Absolutely.
So you can miss me all the way with that.
Like at what point?
All the way miss me with that. Because at some point, you got to put your hands up.
At what point, if somebody's hitting you in the face,
at some point, you got to put your hand. You got to fight back.
Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Like,
so
let's fight instead of just taking it.
And I again, this is a Jerry Maguire moment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Rod Tidwell. You're not gonna get me to get upset, Roy. I'm not gonna cry, but it does aggravate me.
Yeah,
because I just don't like. There's nothing worse in this sport. And I don't know if this is Irish Spring. I don't know if this is dial. This might be a soapbox moment. At the end of the day, it's a tough sport played by tough people.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody enjoys beating your head in,
mm-hmm.
sometimes being tough is just a willingness to get your ass kicked. Most people won't even show up for the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Most people won't even show up for the fight. They'll be like, nah, man. But real toughness is willingness to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't. The most disappointing thing for me is I just didn't feel like Nebraska was willing to go there. So we can make it about a lot of other things. And did they get away from EJ? And did we hold the ball too long? And did bad habits rear their ugly? But at the end of the day, Minnesota wasn't being super fancy.
Mm-mm. Like there were football-y things that went wrong, right?
Yeah.
But there were.
So I mean,
a lot of those things can be fixed by just choosing to fight.
Northwestern can't get here soon enough.
Yeah.
That's the way I would think.
Because we gotta show that's not who we are. Like if you're a fighter, if you're a competitor.
Did you just have a bad night at the office?
Or is that who you are?
Or is this who you're going to be?
Yeah.
So, and you got choices.
Yeah. It's not written for you.
I
mean, you experienced this a couple weeks ago with Central, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they kicked our teeth in.
Like that was and that's weirdly, I thought about that almost immediately because I go.
So you know what? Because I didn't feel like talking.
Yeah.
I avoided. I mean, in our Zoom, like I took the floor like the first 6 minutes, and I said, "Hey guys, I apologize. This is what happens when you're antisocial and you've had time to think." Right? I know. I had an idea of exactly what I want, what I want to do this week against Papio, right? And I said, "Hey, can you just give me X amount of time just to lay out here?" And they're probably like, "This dude's flipping nuts." But all I could think about?
What's that?
It's the answer that I gave everybody. Hey, what happened? We got Central. We got Central. That's in my head. Like those that know, right?
Yeah.
Like you got an option. You got chances. Same as I told you. The next 2 weeks, Elk South, and it'd tell us a lot about what we were.
And
I didn't say much. I said, I'm telling you, Ravi, we'll figure out who we are in the next 2 weeks, and I'll tell you then.
Yeah.
Right. So Northwestern cannot get here soon enough,
because then we'll find out.
And don't understand. Like there's some things that I don't know if Nebraska's good enough at this point to overcome. Because again, you can always give the ball. Like there's tactical things you can do.
100%.
But don't undersell things like Hartzog. Don't undersell Spindler.
Shavers. That one I felt like was big. That one I felt was big. Him not being able to go with the club.
So
that was tough.
So I saw him, and he's got this
a club,
and it's a big one.
Yeah, and there's no fingers out.
It's a big one. Yeah. And I said to I think it was either Jess or Ben, because Kyle was upstairs, and I'm like, when'd that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was floored.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see him in the hotel, right? And he's out in a T-shirt, and he's doing his deal. And so for Coach Rule, and I appreciate him being candid, when he said, you know what, it just hurt too bad.
Yeah.
Like, I could, if he just got that thing on Tuesday, like, I could imagine.
Yeah, he had surgery this week.
So that kind of broke my heart. But yeah, don't undersell those kind of things.
Yeah, that's huge. But I also sit there and I go.
So in one hand, the difference between, and I'm going to say this, and I'll move on from it. The difference between an excuse and an explanation is ownership. So Nebraska has to own the fact that they didn't show up mentally. They just didn't.
Yeah.
And they also have to own the fact, I think they don't think Minnesota was very good.
I didn't think Minnesota was very good.
I'm telling you.
I still don't think Minnesota was very good.
I can't.
I know.
I can't say that.
I know.
Because I've been in that position.
I'm taking 30,000-foot view. I'm not in it. I understand.
The micro for me is I'm not afforded the luxury to say anything because we got our ass
100%.
Right. So,
but
you may end up being right. I don't know. But what I'm just telling you is, it doesn't make me feel any better to get whooped by a team, even if you don't think they're very good.
No, it probably makes you feel worse.
So that like
it makes me feel worse. That's what I was frustrated by, because I look at that team and I go, okay, do I think that team is better than Cincinnati? Absolutely not. Do I think that team is better than Michigan? Absolutely not. Do I think that team's better than Michigan State or Maryland? I don't think so. That's the frustrating part, is it was just a Minnesota decided to kick your ass.
Well, so two of the things I think Nebraska got to figure out. Why is it that no matter what a team comes in with statistically, they do the opposite against Nebraska?
That is a problem.
Whether it's sacking the quarterback or running the football.
Or stopping the run. I mean, Minnesota had gotten gashed all year. But you're right. So, like, all the narratives and all the things, not even narratives, the things that were statistically true about Minnesota, they flipped.
Take your pick.
Or Maryland flipped.
Or
Michigan State flipped. Yeah. Right?
Take your pick.
So that's fair. That is the thing that I find very
And
concerning.
I don't think it snuck up on Nebraska, because you heard
Butler say, well, yeah, I'd run it on us too.
Yeah. So, I mean, this will be,
maybe that was a little bit more foreboding than we originally thought.
I'm fascinated by Saturday, because I only know
Northwestern's not a gimme.
I only know, like, in this game, in the game of football, like, you're afforded the luxury to solve problems with aggression.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing I think that frustrates me the most about the run fits, is they are passive mistakes, it feels like.
It's maddening.
Like, that's why I'm taking screenshots of seeing how far guys are off the line of scrimmage when Minnesota is clearly in a run and directionally in a run for a certain amount of time. Because I'm sitting there and I go, how are you still 12 yards off the line of scrimmage when the back is still behind the line of scrimmage? Like, how are you still that far away?
I don't know enough about what's actually taught with those keys either.
I don't either, but I'm going to say, if that's what's
I could easily ask.
If that's what's being taught,
it wasn't the time or place.
Sure. But I'm saying, if that's what's being taught, if he was in the right spot, teach something else, because that sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm not a football genius, but, like, if your guy that is your free runner hitter is that far off the line of scrimmage, that's probably not going to work very often.
Yeah. When I see, and
that's why guys miss tackles, right?
I kind of want to call. Gosh, we should have got MRI today. So there are these different kind of blocks, right? There's this thing. It's called a scoop block, where I'm just wondering, like, on the second. Hey, see if you can grab Foreman for tomorrow. He may.
Okay.
I may ask him if he's got time today.
I'll say we call him now.
Let me ask him real quick. Hang on. You got 15 minutes this morning? I've got questions. I'm dead serious.
I know you are.
So listen,
I got questions.
I just want to know, like, when you read scoop blocks, like, are you reading face masks? Because if that face mask stays square, he's trying to scoop you.
Mhm.
If you cannot
tell me what a scoop block is.
So they work this lateral step and they're going to climb up to you.
Gotcha.
Like,
so they're trying to get around the initial.
Like just think, like,
just scooping around. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Right, lateral. Like when you read,
if he's trying to get around your face and up.
When you read a face mask, split it.
Mm-hmm.
Split it. Get your ass downhill and meet that thing as close to the line of scrimmage as possible. If you get scooped on the second level, you can't play.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you just can't.
Yeah. And I know
it's so I just want to know.
Yeah.
Like, there's lots I want to know.
For sure.
But you can solve problems with aggression. You just can't. So
here's my question. I've been wondering this for a few weeks now. Can you force, based on your scheme or play call, can you force the aggression?
One more time.
If guys aren't being naturally aggressive, like it seems like they're not, can you force that with scheme or play call?
I mean, yes.
Because I know you're gonna sacrifice something else.
I may say to Coach Queen, hey, listen, we're a little tentative here. Let's put him on the move.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Because
you can do that.
Like that would be my next, like, hey, maybe we try that. If we're not switching out personnel or anything like that, if we're having guys that are having a hard time being aggressive, my next thought would be like, well, hey, let's just force them to be aggressive.
He said after 8. All right. Hey, Shane, text him. Try him at 8:45.
Will do.
All right. I got questions.
So that would be my thing is if they're not doing it, if they're not seeing it, force them into it.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, like, you have to get here.
So one time we went to commercial break and we're like scrambling trying to figure out the offensive line combinations.
Mm-hmm.
That's
for Nebraska.
Yes. That's how much in disarray it was.
I mean, you lose obviously Spindler to the injury and then Pritchett.
It was just like, wait a minute, what's going on? But it was going so fast.
Yeah.
Like, that's just it's cool and it's not cool.
Yeah.
You have these scripts and these charts and you want to go like this, and sometimes it just doesn't, right? Which I imagine is the same way.
Yeah.
It is for these guys to coach.
Yeah,
too.
on the sideline. Yeah.
Like sometimes you're just putting out fires, like super real time. So I don't know, man. Do I give in? This is just like a testosterone moment where I'm like, damn, be the short week and this, that, and the other, and I'm just not hearing it? Or do I need to have some sort of grace and compassion for what it was? Because at the end of the day, just something doesn't sit well with a team that look like they just want it to be tougher.
Yeah, so that's, I think, where you can't do the short week thing. Or listen, I get that it was East Coast, back home, short week. I get all those things. And I get that there are things that Nebraska struggles with schematically on run fits and whatever.
Yeah.
It felt like like the thing that's sitting with me poorly, and I'm assuming it is with you. I don't know for sure. But the thing that's sitting with me poorly is it felt like Minnesota just decided that this is how the game was going to go. And Nebraska didn't say, hey, no, that's not what's happening.
Yeah, so I want to go back to something I said about this week, which is because this has happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether it was us getting our ass kicked by Arizona State or, Central or whatever, like, North Platte did it to us. I mean, it's happened, right?
Yeah.
So the beautiful thing about this game is you get another crack at it.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the season. So that's why I'm, when I said, hey, color me fascinated with the Northwestern. Is this just a bad night out?
Or is this who you're going to be?
Is this who you're going to be? I just like.
Because Northwestern's pretty tough too.
Oh, yeah. They're going to
defensively, they're pretty good.
They're going to present some similar challenge. So
They slowed Oregon down in a way most teams haven't.
In this weird sort of excited way, like I'm excited.
This is a better challenge than I think we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And Nebraska needs that challenge.
So it's like, I want to see.
Can I? So
I want to see how we can respond.
I don't want to chastise people for how their frustrations after this game, because I'm super frustrated too. If anybody saw the post
You mean
game,
not telling people how to fan?
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
But I am going to say this. The solution to every loss is not to fire someone.
I hate
I'm just over that. I don't know how many times this is part of the reason I literally chart the pressures and with a stopwatch. Because I'm over it. I'm over we've tried that before.
Yeah.
We've done that. It didn't work.
Yeah.
I don't the answer is not to fire somebody every time something goes wrong. Sometimes you have to stick with it and fix it, right? And sometimes you have to say, hey, this body of work makes sense or whatever, right? Yeah. The answer is not always to fire somebody. It's just not. And I'm kind of over that. I need that to
you can't listen.
I'm over it. If that's where you want to go with this, I'm not here for it. I'm just not. I'm not here for you got to fire this guy and you got I'm just not here for it.
You can't let you stay here.
I'm all right. All right.
Stay here.
I'm right here.
People can make it's just opinions.
I get it. And listen, I've had opinions too that were wrong. I've had opinions that were right. I've had opinions that were overreactionary and emotional. I get it. I do.
So look at it like this, how I look at
Mm-hmm.
it, right? And you do with this what you will. You get an opportunity to really put it this is a beautiful litmus test.
Yeah, you get put to the test.
You get to put it to all I can think of, it's just how I'm wired, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I can think of is when my man in 300, right? He sees, he's like, this is his guys are like, have they knows whatever, right? And you see all the hanging bodies from the trees and they cast the dark shadow. And Leonidas is like, the immortals. We'll put their name to the test.
Yeah.
Give them nothing.
Put them to the test.
We'll put them to the test.
Yeah.
It's
an opportunity.
That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because clearly, so far this season, this is an anomaly in terms of
how it played out.
Yes,
I agree. That's why it's frustrating. Because I thought we were past this kind of loss.
This is an anomaly.
Right.
So are we you get the opportunity to say, hey, listen, this is not who we are. This is not who we want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Put it to the test.
That's why I'm frustrated.
This is a new little thing you get to write in your own narrative.
Absolutely.
And they're the authors. They're the one that get to pen the thing. We don't.
Well, that's why I think it's harder for sometimes it's harder
was P-E-N.
Yeah.
How does it sound? Pen.
Like the tennis ball.
Yeah.
Pen. No, I think that's why it's sometimes harder for fans because we have zero control over what's happening.
Stanky's coming.
You know what I mean?
But believe that.
Good Lord, I hope so.
I almost did something this week.
You almost walked down one of the other boxes. You all right? You good? You looking for something? You good? Let's take a quick break here. TK, hold on. We'll get to you here in a second. We'll get to you here in just a second. Coming up on the show today at 8:00, we got Sam McKewon, as we always do. At 8:45, we're gonna talk to Jay.
Yeah.
Jay Foreman at 8:45. At 9:00, we will talk to Brent Sobleski. A little NFL football. It was a interesting weekend, to say the least, in the NFL. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah.
We will be back. We will be back. We will be back. Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I think they all are. I mean, at some point you're hoping, we believe in our guys. You're hoping someone, knocks a ball out, makes a big tackle, sack, fumble, something, and we could get off the field. There were times, I said in the first half we looked really crisp on defense, in terms of stopping them run early, but they were bleeding it for 4 and 5 yards. I think it just took a toll on us after a while, and credit to them. There's not really much else I can say other than that. It's just credit to them.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla reminding you, if you're in the car this morning, make sure you got that seatbelt fastened and make it click. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. It prevents injuries and saves lives. DB.
Yes, sir.
How are we feeling about the college football slate in general this morning?
It
was an interesting weekend.
It's interesting to say the least,
Yeah.
man. I don't feel like, although I did tell, and they can attest to this, I don't know if Jess could hear me, but I told Benny Mack, nope, because she wasn't mic'd up yet. This was during the pregame.
Mm-hmm.
I did tell Benny Mack that Louisville would beat Miami outright.
Yeah.
I said they'll beat them outright.
So that was a classic WTF Carson bet game.
Oh yeah, the 4.
Yeah. I think that's part of the problem with this Nebraska-Minnesota game is there wasn't like, oh, we had 3 turnovers or whatever, right? There was not that thing that you can just point to and say, we did this to ourselves. You know what I mean?
We'll make this about a lot of other things,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get emotional, and we'll say, fire this guy. First of all, that's not the answer. Number 2 is it's a physical game. You get a chance to solve problems with aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, let's not act like over the last 10 years that Minnesota isn't a better program. So
yeah, I didn't think they were better this year, but
it's a better program.
They have been a better program.
It's a
That's
better
correct.
program.
There's no question.
Like they have been a better program than the University of Nebraska. So
that's true. Unequivocally.
Well, you got to eat it, right?
Unequivocally, it is true.
You have to just eat that.
Just like Iowa has, but like unequivocally true.
So the I'm telling you, the thing that makes me the most upset is, and I said this 15 times, so hear my heart. It's not sure. Schematically, you could do X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, just understand that every time somebody plays you, i.e. they want to fight you, they just think they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, you just got to be like, hey, man, not tonight.
I'll say that will be the case until you make it not the case.
Right? So for me, that's where I just get certain things fire me up.
Yeah, it's the frustration.
And when you don't fight back or attack it's compete.
Got to fight back.
And it's why I snapped. When Iowa enjoyed kicking our teeth in.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point you have to realize,
like when somebody hates you that much, you got to hate back a little.
Dude, it's nasty up there.
Yeah.
That student section, I don't know. Somebody said it.
I don't know if it's because it's Minnesota. We don't think of them that way.
Listen, I think it might have been somebody said for the money outside of Iowa, it is the best student section on the road. It's either Jess or Ben. One of the two.
How was the
3 minutes into warm-ups?
Mm-hmm.
Warm-ups. F Nebraska. That's all they kept chanting. Like they clearly don't like you.
Yeah.
I asked Grimm, like they clearly. So I just want all week. That's all I wanted people to know.
Mm-hmm. They don't like you.
Hey man, short week or not, this is always personal.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's like when you get into
how many different ways could I say that?
No, you asked it. You asked it as many different ways as you could last week. It was, hey, I mean, you asked it of the Minnesota guys, you asked it of our guys.
That's the thing that bugs me. Like
maybe some animosity there. And here's the thing that I think is, and you sort of touched on this in the first segment. Here's the thing that's underrated, right? We talk about it a lot of times in boxing, where it's like, hey, when you go into a fight and you don't realize how much the other person dislikes you, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's
like you're in a lot of trouble.
That's why Marvin Hagler kept beating everybody
because he disliked
to be
everybody.
Better than him.
And, I mean, you could see it with Bud, right? You could tell the guys that he doesn't like versus the guys he respects, right? Because there are certain guys that he's like, I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And there's some guys he's like, I'm just going to win.
You know what's funny?
Like he respected Canelo.
Why? You know why I love that analogy?
Yeah.
Because what was I telling you off air and on air about this fight with Canelo? When Canelo started, I said, Bud isn't mad at Canelo for saying he didn't fight anybody like it's an indictment of him.
Yeah.
Bud is pissed because it comes across like you don't respect the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's pissed.
Yeah. Or like, what was the one?
Like
Benavidez was the one he like hated.
Yeah.
And you see how that went?
So those are the kinds of things that I gravitate to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It just fits my. It's like perfect on purpose, right? Like
Errol Spence.
Like go
do it on purpose.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Like it's out there. Go get it. And I was a little bit taken aback.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I didn't get into. I mean, yeah, sure, run EJ more or change quarters or, get flat when you get down. Like, you can do all that, but that's not why.
And also,
that's not why Minnesota won.
If you change the scheme and you still don't fight, the scheme's not going to work.
Yeah,
you like, I think there's that's why I asked you the question about, can you force guys into aggression? Because I think sometimes you can sort of jumpstart a mindset where it's like, hey, if this is my job, then I don't have to choose it on my own.
It's just this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just the next phase in terms of growing the program how you want it. You have to go through this.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought we were past it, and I probably jumped a step.
Well, I mean,
I did.
I don't know if we were. I didn't think. Well, we hadn't had to deal with it.
Yeah.
We'd only so far this team had only lost to a team that was better than them
in Michigan. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
so this is the next emotional phase that this program has to cross. Is okay. We didn't show up.
Yeah.
We're still in. That's a controllable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a controllable.
So I made a distinction.
We better understand it at this juncture.
Yeah.
Minnesota is a better program than we are. Do you know how we always talk about a nameless, faceless opponent?
Mm-hmm.
This is part of it.
Yeah.
So we want to roll our eyes when Coach Rule says credit to them.
Mm-hmm.
Credit to them. Sure, it does. He's not absolving Nebraska's staff of culpability.
No,
he's not. But at the end of the day,
they came out and took it.
In this sport,
they came out and took it.
That's what they did.
And so you have to give them credit for coming out and taking it.
That's what they did.
So what I
in the same vein that I could tell you that I love what Collins was doing pre-snap
mm-hmm.
with Minnesota and their movement.
Yeah.
I could also say, hey man, stop letting guys inside. Or I could do a football thing too.
Yeah, just be like, hey,
don't
allow a guy a free release to the inside and let him cross in front of your face.
Like two things could be
right.
It's I cannot wait for Northwestern. Just because I want to know. I want to know. We don't barbecue or mildew.
Yeah.
Like, we gonna cook or we gonna rot? So
We'll see.
I am very much looking forward to Saturday.
Let's take a quick break here. We're gonna talk to Sam McKewon coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live, and I'm reminding you once again, get to Big Brothers Big Sisters, bbbsmidlands.org, because you can make a big difference with just 4 hours a month. Doesn't take a lot, doesn't have to be perfect. It's about showing up, and you won't do it alone. Big Brothers Big Sisters supports you every step of the way. Go learn more and sign up to be a mentor, bbbsmidlands.org. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
A great game for us from a learning perspective. There's going to be a lot of things on film that we can take away, some positives and certainly some negatives. Obviously, we're trying to figure this roster out, figure out combinations. I was really curious to see how we would perform with the lights on. And, some guys perform better than others, and that's okay. But, to score 71 points on Iowa State with 65 or 6 possessions, whatever it was, they're a hard team to score on. And, I thought the first half, our ball security, ball movement was really good. The second half, they were able to muddy it up a little bit more, and we coughed it up a little more than we needed to. So, but all in all, I think nobody got hurt, and we got a lot of guys on the floor. They played 11 guys, 10 minutes or more. So that gave us it's going to give us some really good film to evaluate.
Yeah, the message is just making this next week our best week. It's difficult sometimes when you lose, and we just have to figure out how to see where we went wrong. Maybe think about our mindset if our mindset was off at all, and attack the next week. So it's about picking our heads up and coming together and making sure that we unite from moments like this. Yeah, I would say we prepare for everything. We know that teams are going to run the ball. We know the teams are going to try to pass the ball. So we were prepared for everything. They had some plays that hit, and we just have to go figure out what happened, figure out where we can be better.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
It was a little bit of everything. The back gets beat by a linebacker, and back missed assignment, not in the flat. The quarterback goes to throw it to him, gets sacked. A couple of them maybe were holding. But just overall, I thought they were the more physical team tonight. Obviously, you lose 2 offensive linemen. That's going to hurt you, but we're not going to make any excuses. They got after us.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centros Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, how are we doing this morning?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Oh, great.
Seems aggressive.
When I grow up, I'm going to give a real answer.
Is it the Bears win? Is that what got us?
Bears win. Browns
won.
My wife's from Cleveland. It's a beautiful morning. Let's get it. Let's go.
It's a beautiful morning.
Big exhibition wins for the basketball teams.
Hey, they shot the pee out of that thing.
It's a basketball state. It's a basketball state now, Sam.
Dude, the band said his presser was hilarious.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
He's really
I was not there for the game. I had to. Yeah, I was not there. I rewatched that on BTN Plus.
Yeah, he's legit. Let me ask you something, Sam. How do you parse through the tactical stuff, like getting in the micro of scheme versus what you just heard Coach Rule say, like, I can't make any excuses, man. They just got after us. Like, where's that balance for you? Because for me, my anger isn't in, whether they miss a run fit. It's more like I just felt like, I don't know. I feel like we didn't think Minnesota was very good. And I thought Nebraska could win by, hear my heart. And I think I told you, I said, if Nebraska shows up, this game should not get into the fourth quarter. And Minnesota was just like, yeah, whatever. Like, we're a better program than you right now. Like, that's kind of how it felt, which is what's the most upsetting thing to me.
Yeah, Minnesota took it to Nebraska for much of that game. I think there's something to be said. We can talk about it in a second about the offense. Defensively, I do think there's certainly some things that I think Rule takes and should take a lot of pride and care in not only how his defense fits the run, but the passion and the violence with which they play. And so I'm guessing that some of the missed tackles at the end of the first half probably really irked him, and they weren't great for sure. And I'm sure he was very irked by the fourth quarter, the 14-play, 98-yard drive in the third quarter, because that's just who he is as a person. Like that's sort of a challenge to Nebraska's manhood. There's things that happened on that drive where I thought Minnesota's line got some push and it didn't look good for Nebraska, so on and so forth. And so, yeah, physicality, the baseline physicality, he mentioned it more than once after the game. And anytime a coach says that the other team is more physical, that is a soft euphemism for a hard criticism. In other words, he's actually being very critical of his team, but he's not doing it in a way that throws him under the bus. And so I'm sure it drove him insane that Minnesota, to him, was the more physical team. Now the offense, now the schematic stuff. I don't know exactly what offense we're watching. I don't think it's fully Dana Holgerson's offense. It's not what Dana Holgerson would do if Dana said, hey, blank slate, do whatever the hell you want, do this. Doesn't look like that. It looks like sort of a blend between, hey, let's do kind of the things that we think will work in the Big Ten with some Dana-isms, and it's really not supposed to look like that when you're protecting against the pass. Granted, Nebraska got beat physically on a few of those sacks, but there was a sack where, the right tackle blocked down on a guy that was blocking. I'm sorry, the left tackle blocked down on a guy that was blocking, that was already blocked, and the free rusher just ran to the quarterback. That doesn't make any sense. So either something is not getting communicated the right way, players are not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing, or there's an expectation that whatever was supposed to happen on that play, someone else was supposed to block that guy. And that happens like 2 or 3 times a game. And Rule mentioned there were a lot of free runners, and he was right. There's guys just coming through that aren't blocked. And that's really not how it's supposed to be. Like, you're not supposed to have a 5-man pressure and the 5th man is just untouched. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So schematically, something is not right. Like, whether it is Dylan not moving the protection, is it that it's not getting communicated correctly and the noise? Is it that Dylan needs to get rid of that ball way faster than he is, and that's a hot route and he's not throwing it? Like, what happened on the second play of the game?
So that was clear. That was clear. There's clearly that was miscommunication.
Yeah.
I don't know if Isaiah thought it was just strictly a run or did he check the RPO? But after the run fake, it's like Hunter's blocking, right? So he clearly they're clearly not on the same page.
They're clearly not on the same page, Damon. And you could also make the additional argument of, like, just run the ball. Like, does it have to be an RPO check there? Like, can you not line up and just run it a couple of times without having to have it be a if this then that kind of play? And I understand how RPOs work. They've been around for a long time now. I mean, and by that I mean like more than a decade. Many years, longer than that in some ways. I mean, obviously Osborne was calling them back in the day,
versions of the triple have been around. You're right.
Yeah. So, like, this isn't new. I just feel like when you have those plays in your system, as many as I think they tend to have, part of what can happen is you're neither, hair nor foul. Like you're trying to run 2 plays, and in trying to run 2 different plays and having the quarterback pick which one's better, you don't execute either one the best you could. And so I think there's some of that in there, and I think there's some of, at any rate, there's no schematics that say, short of Mike Martz, and saying, we're just not going to protect you, and we're just going to let you throw to one of 5 receivers, and you better get rid of it, or like the run and shoot. There's no protection scheme that allows for 9 sacks. Like, it's just, so there's obviously something going on there.
Sam here from Mouse Davis. Big Mouse Davis guy, Sam.
Those old systems, like the Mike Martz system, and I watched it when Jay Cutler was with the Bears. Well, Jay Cutler wouldn't throw the ball until receivers had made their breaks, and so he got sacked all the time. But Martz's system is designed, they have no back. The back is out. You're under the center, kind of like in the run and shoot system. You must get rid of the ball fast. And like, you know this because you used to run and shoot plays. I mean, Osborne had a few in his offense, like where there's a little quick rollout and you throw it like a little stop route. Well, that's a schematic thing that, there's a reason why teams don't run in the run and shoot anymore in the NFL, because it gets your quarterback killed. But Dylan's getting banged up based on things that I just don't think are right. And so, like, I'm not smart enough to know exactly what's going on, but they are. And I would think that, like, at least some of the weekend was spent like, guys, the franchise quarterback can't get hit this many times. So what are we going to do to shore that up? Against Maryland, they seem to have an answer. And that was, we're going to run the ball, and he's going to get the ball out of his hands faster. Then they went to Minnesota, and it felt a lot like what we had seen against Michigan and Michigan State, only it was worse because Minnesota had guys just kind of running right at him. And that wasn't good. Like, against Michigan kind of physically took over Nebraska's offensive line. In this case, there were 3 or 4 sacks where guys just kind of came free, and they got to figure it out fast. And you tip your hat to Minnesota. They obviously outcoached Nebraska, and they worked very hard to put Nebraska in bad spots. And now Nebraska's got to figure it out against Northwestern, because Northwestern will come in with a great defensive plan. And they will come, and Northwestern's prepared to win a game 13-9, if that's what they have to do. Nebraska needs to be prepared to get everything from Northwestern and then have an answer. And then defensively, they need to be physically ready to play Northwestern that's going to run the ball 45 times, because that's what Northwestern's going to do, and Nebraska needs to hold up.
Sam, do you know at first blush how many minutes Nebraska had the ball in the second half?
Not a lot. I'd say about 11 or 12.
Yeah, right dab smack in the middle, about 11:53, Sam, in total in the second half.
Yeah, they didn't have it much. And so there's a lot of people, let's just say I heard a lot of feedback about the defense. And I get it. Like, I understand that drive was very frustrating and demoralizing. I totally understand it. And Damon, you may feel the exact same way. Or you may feel like I do, where I'm like, I kind of went into the season feeling the defense was not going to be, 95 Nebraska. Like, they had a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that going in, and that they weren't going to sit there and, outside of rules saying they were going to be hell on wheels. They didn't really try to pretend that this was going to be the number one defense in the country. It has been, in many ways, the number one pass defense in the country, but they didn't pretend that. Like, they didn't act like that. And I actually think the defense, aside from that drive, has played pretty hard all year. And I thought Keona Davis actually had a pretty good game on Friday. One of his better games. And he played very hard in that game. And I think he should take some I assume he should take some encouragement from the way he played in the first half.
I do think Minnesota was very intentional at who and what they went at. They knew what they wanted to accomplish on offense. That much I'm certain. But I was probably more taken aback by what happened to Nebraska offensively than I was defensively.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just they've got good coaches on the offensive side of the ball. So a lot of people are like, well, Donovan Raiola. And I'm like, you know what, guys? I don't know enough about offensive line coaching.
Neither do most people that talk about it.
So I'm like, there's no way he's teaching. There's no way he's teaching not to block people. So like, I don't know. Like, maybe that is the issue. I don't know, but that's for Matt Rule to decide. Like, he's been an offensive line coach, and we'll ask Rule about it today. That's for him to decide. What I know is that any offensive line coach, even somebody who had been there for a year, wouldn't be teaching some of the things that were falling apart on Friday. Like, that doesn't, the penalty on Pritchett's on Pritchett. That's not on the coach.
I still thought that was soft, but it's whatever. I see guys clean up the pile.
Not the personal foul.
I was like, are you serious right now? But anyway,
not the personal foul. He knows he can't. I mean, once the guy's down, you can't. Now again, they don't always call that, but there's nothing more to do there. But that's certainly not on Donovan Raiola. And I'm not trying to launch some big defense. I've just, I used to hear people rip Barney Cotton. And I'm like, I don't really know. I mean, I think Barney Cotton's doing a pretty good job. I mean, the one year Barney was the offensive line coach, they had linemen who were fourth or fifth on the depth chart starting late in the season. Like, he was doing a great job, and people are like, Barney Cotton. I'm like, no, it's not Barney Cotton. It's not. So, I'm sensitive to people ripping that particular position coach, because it feels like just because it's not 94 Nebraska, they're not doing a good job. Well, yeah, I mean, Neil Tunnipper was the greatest of all time, but it doesn't mean that every person that came after him deserved to be let go. And so I'm careful there, but there's absolutely something not right with their protection scheme or something. And maybe it's Emmett. I don't know. I think, Emmett has to block all the time, and he's got to do a lot of different things, and maybe he doesn't always remember. I don't know. It's hard. It's actually hard to tell, because it's so bad that it has to be a number of things. And some of it has to presumably be Dylan's holding on to the ball and needs to let go of the football, and he hasn't done it.
So, Sam, let me ask you this, because I'm genuinely curious, because obviously the offense was just atrocious in all aspects on Friday, but I'm curious if you would have thought prior to Friday if there was a systemic issue with the offense.
I thought they took such a good step forward at Maryland that they had maybe talked about it and figured it out.
Okay. Because in general, the numbers would lead you to believe prior to this game that the offense had performed reasonably well prior to Minnesota.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you take out the Houston Christian and Akron games, it's been pretty good. But I had written about it after the Michigan State game, before the Maryland game. They got to get rid of the sacks. The sacks are
for sure
they're no good.
For
and
sure.
Then we had the discussion about sacks versus interceptions, and I'm just saying that, like, sacks are really, really demoralizing. In my experience in covering this over many years, rarely did I see Adrian Martinez more demoralized than when he had spent an entire day getting crushed. And so, like, I think for Dylan, it's got to be pretty demoralizing to feel like you don't have time, and then to get sacked that many times. And then he does the right thing by saying, hey, I'll take it. And I'm like, yeah, some of this is not on you. But he's trying. He's trying to do the right thing, and he's trying to say the right thing. And, so I think there's an issue with the pass protection scheme for sure, because I think it's been an issue all season long. But I thought they took a great step forward against Maryland. I'm like, even with the interceptions, you know what? They protected him, and he made plays, and they won the game. He didn't throw any interceptions on Friday, and only came close, I suppose, once. But it's very hard to overcome 9 sacks. It just is. It's very hard.
Sam, what do I do with Nebraska playing 3 guys, and 1 plays anyway in Corcoran, but playing 3 offensive linemen that they went 8 deep?
Mm-hmm.
Is that good or bad? Like those are the guys. That's what makes it complicated, right?
It also
went
makes
7 deep because they had.
Well, you played. You played
choice.
Canuck, Corcoran, and Teddy.
Right.
None of those 3 guys started, so that's 8.
Right, but two of the guys had to because they had to.
No, so what? For whatever the reason, like, what do I do with the fact that they could play 8? Nothing.
I don't think it's a terrible thing,
Yeah.
and I don't think that everything was like perfect before Pritchett and Spindler went out, and so I don't think it was like completely perfect that when those guys were in the game, and frankly, it wasn't perfect against Michigan or Michigan State when those guys were playing. Pritchett wasn't playing. I'm a little bit more like, Teddy started the first 3 games of the year and then he can't play. I don't know. Like, I think that they've just had, to me, what I feel like I'm seeing a coordinator trying to do the things that he wants to do, blend that with what the head coach wants to do. Somewhere in there, they've lost the jet sweep. Ja'Cory Barney can't get the ball running. They haven't really called that play all year. They're not getting. Ja'Cory Barney and Dane Key have 10 combined catches in the last 3 games. That's not enough. Those are two of your best players on the team, and they're not getting the ball.
Yeah, so that's juxtaposed to people thinking that Emmett doesn't get to run the ball more either. So you know what I mean?
Yes, I do, and I think that's very fair. Emmett has, I think, I could be wrong, I think Emmett has more catches than the 2 of those guys combined in the last 3 games. And I'm pretty confident he has more targets because he's getting the ball on, dump offs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could be wrong about that last number, but it's close. He and Lindemeyer certainly are getting more catches over the last 3 or 4 games than Key and Barney, and I don't really think that's where you want to be. I know what Lindemeyer's role is, and Lindemeyer's actually been pretty good, like as a receiver. But Ja'Cory Barney needs to be a big part of the offense. And Dane Key's had 2 games now against Michigan State and against Minnesota where he didn't have a catch at all. And so somewhere in there, because Dana said a couple weeks ago, well, my idea of balance is you get the ball to your playmakers equally. And the reality is that, their number 1 receiver out of the portal, whether he should have been or not, he was, hasn't had a catch in 2 of the last 3 games. Now, Isaiah Hunter's getting a lot of touches, and that's good. He's a good player. But somewhere in there, there's something they've got to try to figure out on offense. And I don't know exactly. I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to figure it out on the fly because Northwestern's a good team defensively. Offensively, they're really not very good. But defensively, they are. And they're not going to take it easy on Nebraska. And then USC is going to get a bye week to get healthy and to come to Nebraska. And in USC's mind at this moment, USC thinks they're still in the playoff. but they got to go get a road win. So USC is probably going to come to Nebraska very focused and very ready to play, and they will not be an easy out for Nebraska. That'll be a very challenging game, no matter what people think of USC's performance at Notre Dame. So, these are going to be 2 tough weeks here at home, and the noise around here, as you will know, it often gets louder when you're at home and you're struggling than when it's on the road. And so Nebraska's going to have to go into Saturday knowing that the fans are going to expect better, and are they going to get better? And Nebraska's players will know, well, the fans are watching. What are we going to do? And they're going to have to respond.
So, Sam, I did this exercise a couple weeks ago when I think it was Michigan State. There was a bunch of sacks, and we were talking about the offensive line a lot. So I counted up how many and charted up how many times Dylan had at least 3 seconds to threw it in less than 3 seconds, and how many times he got sacked or pressured in under 3 seconds. And so I'm sitting here and I go, okay, so 12 times he got rid of the ball in less than 3 seconds out of 38 total dropbacks. That seems low to me, especially for what Dana Holgorsen kind of traditionally has done. 23 times out of the 38, he had more than 3 seconds to throw the ball. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. Only 3 times out of 38 dropbacks did he have fewer than 3 seconds before a defender got on him. So I guess my question would be, how much differently do you think we would think about the offensive line if Dana was running more of his kind of traditional quick passing offensive schemes that we have seen pretty much every other stop in his career?
I think we would feel a little different about it. Of course, the 3 times he didn't have 3 seconds, all 3 of them are unacceptable. I assume they were all sacks. Maybe they weren't. But you can't.
2 of the 3 were sacks, yes.
Yeah.
One of them was the one where Emmett got blown up coming up the middle.
Yeah.
One of them was the miscommunication you were talking about where both Emmett and Gatula blocked the inside guy. Nobody blocks the outside guy. And then I think it was the third one that was not a sack and it was just a regular pressure.
Yeah. I don't know. And again, I've went back and watched Holgorsen's offenses at West Virginia. And again, they kind of changed at West Virginia. They had a more mobile quarterback, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was running a little bit more. Geno Smith wasn't running that much. But again, there's a lot of ways that you can parse this thing out. I think at this moment in time, I wouldn't describe Dylan Raiola as good as Geno Smith in college. I think Dylan's coming, but I wouldn't say he's as good. Nor would I say that Nebraska's skill players around that are quite as good as what West Virginia had in 2011 and 2012 and however long Geno Smith was there. I think there's things that they can certainly do that would be different. At the same time, I think there's opportunities for Holgorsen and opportunities to especially get the ball to Barney in open space. Is Barney banged up? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. If he is, he's still returning punts real nice. So how about you get him the ball? If you got to bring him around on an orbit motion and pitch him the ball, then pitch him the ball. If you have to do what the Falcons did last night with Bijan Robinson, do that. Motion him out, have 2 blockers in front, have him standing 6 yards away, and just throw him the ball. Kudos to the Falcons for understanding how to do that. So there's just certain things you need to be able to do. And I'm not exactly sure what the issues are there, but it hasn't worked as well as they would hope. They've actually run the ball fairly well with Emmett Johnson. My colleague, Sean Callahan, had the number of they had this many first down runs and then they didn't have any on second down. And I don't know exactly what's going on, but it just doesn't quite feel right. And then you get all the sacks in there and you're just somewhere in there, the brain trust has got to get together and they got to figure it out. And I don't know if that means Rule needs to get more into the kitchen or Rule needs to get out of the kitchen. It's hard for me to say because I'm not inside that room.
Sam, let me ask you something. And it's kind of twofold. How do I reconcile in my head the job that Nebraska did on Stewart and Mathis a week ago and then have the same conversations we're having this week and understand that we're talking about the same 2 things when we want to assess assess blame?
Well, they ran the ball at Maryland and they made a concerted effort to do it early.
Okay. So there's options, right? When we're making all these.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy. I don't want to ask leading.
Yeah.
I just want people to just like think for them. You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's to spark thought, right? We're talking about the same. We're talking about the same coach. Coach is.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very encouraging against Maryland. All right, if you can overcome 3 interceptions, including a pick 6 to win, your offense did some good things. It did. And they ran the ball at Maryland. They played with an edge.
Who was the more formidable front? Was it Maryland's or Minnesota's?
Going into the game, it was Maryland.
Okay. I just do with that what I just again, you know me, like sometimes you just got to think for yourself. I think part of it, Minnesota coached well, though. I mean, I think they did some nice things. They brought a 7-man pressure, which is rare, and they did. They brought a 7-man pressure once. They clearly understood that they could bring a linebacker even in the run game, they could bring that guy late. He would come free. They did some nice things. They coached well, and so you have to tip your hat to them. I think Nebraska's offensive line could have played better. I think that the play calling could have been a little better. To me, it's 7-6, early third quarter. You're on Minnesota's side of the field. Keep running it. They just had an 11-yard run. Keep running it. And they threw the ball, and then they tried a deep one. Dylan missed it. It's true now. Dane Key was open for a touchdown. And that's a play that I'm sure Raiola would like to have back. And if they hit that play, we may have a different football game. We really might. We don't always take that into account. As you were watching that play unfold, Damon, I assume you thought touchdown, right? The one the second down throw to Dane early in the third quarter from Minnesota's 48. Yeah.
That looks like a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it should have been. He needs to hit the throw.
Yeah. So, conversely, and it's why I don't really panic over and make these sweeping judgments over fire this guy. Sometimes the players just have to execute. You think Lindsey's throw to Brockington was any easier than the one to Key? No. Lindsey just made it.
It's a great throw.
Right. I mean, sometimes that's what I always have a hard time reconciling, because players got to do it's just a two-way street. Right. It's coaches' jobs to put players in positions to have success, and it's players' jobs to go out and execute. So I typically don't make any sweeping judgments either way. The throw from Lindsey to Brockington was more difficult than the one from Raiola to Key. Right. I also know I watched the sack happen in which Barney runs a little over route. It's a 20-yard gain. It's in the sight line. And for whatever the reason, they just didn't throw the ball. And I can say that and say, yeah, I want Emmett to have more runs. I say all that to say it's really, really complicated when we want to assess blame. We just get mad and we get emotional, so we point fingers. I don't ask the question about Maryland's defensive line in Minnesota because I want to prove a point. I'm just trying to help people process to stay out of being super emotional in the moment. This is the same offensive line. Now, granted, they did have 2 injuries. So we get to decide, is that an excuse or not? Mm-hmm. We get to decide whether it's still the same guy coaching that offensive line that handled Maryland's front that came in with the daunting numbers. Just be people get to think how they want, but we just got to stay out of the whole being irrational in the moment. Because again, a week ago, that's the same group that was handling Mathis and Stewart.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not on the.
I'm not telling you what to think. I'm just giving you the information, right?
No, that's right. And again, I tend to be like the head coach, the offensive coordinator, and the defensive coordinator are the 3 men who make decisions about position coaches. And you make those decisions based on not only what they do on game day, but what they do in practice and what they do in the off season and how they recruit. And you know what? In my experience, when coaches get rid of position coaches, it's either because it's I guess I had to do it, like Scott Frost firing all those guys in 21, or it's a lot of times it's, they're just not recruiting well enough. And I don't think that's true of Donovan. I think he's recruiting pretty well. And whatever's going on, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say I understand the techniques that they're trying and that it's somehow a problem with the line. I think what I would say is I do feel like there's a kind of two minds going on with that offensive scheme a little bit, and they may need to clear some of that out. And then, again, the conversation around Dylan is a little bit sensitive because he does so many things that are good.
Mm-hmm.
That when he does miss a play, and he did, that was a deep throw that he could have hit. It's not always easy because he took a risk in coming here. He could have gone to Georgia, where he would be playing right now, probably ahead of Gunnar Stockton, and he could have gone other places. So he came here, and with him came players. So I think you have to, people are sensitive to put everything on him. He kind of takes it on himself, but. There's plays he can make too, but there's also plays in that game that he made that were really good plays. The play where he rolled to his left and he hit Quinn Clark for 43 yards was a hell of a play. And that wasn't easy. And the left-handed throw was actually a good play. He didn't get sacked. It would have been the 10th sack. Instead, it was a 12-yard gain. So Dylan's doing stuff that helps the team. And so he, in my opinion, he can miss a play every so often because he's making plays too. But we'll see. This week, Northwestern, he's got to bring his A game because Northwestern is a good defense, and they will play very hard on Saturday.
That's Sam McKewon from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, appreciate the time as always. We will talk to you next week.
Take care.
Thanks, Sam.
That is Sam McKewon, Omaha World Herald. Lots of stuff in there. Lots of stuff everywhere right now. Lots of stuff.
You just have to have some resolve. I mean, coaches clearly got to coach better, and players got to play better. But if this is the same OC and O-line coach that did what they did against Maryland, and we blamed everything on Dylan, then how a week later is everything back to being their fault again?
Coach's fault.
Yeah, it's like just the extremes in which we operate under. I don't know if they make a whole lot of sense.
I don't personally enjoy operating in the extremes. It frustrates me personally. I'm just being honest.
You know what I mean? And it's like people keep intimating, hey, distraction. Like we're all looking for answers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We want it
Clearly,
to be super linear, but let's not forget. Because we speculate and we think something's on the surface, the players have a direct line to Coach Rule.
Mm-hmm.
Direct access. So whatever it is that he's thinking, they can either ask or he's telling them.
Yeah.
Because I would just have a hard time believing that Coach Rule would go into this game against Minnesota and think, God, you know what? I want my guys on a short week wondering what I'm going to do.
Mm-hmm.
That would really be good. So I could eventually have to answer in the press conference X, Y, and Z questions, and then leave at the beginning of and leave at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I don't see him wanting to operate like that.
Yeah,
I could just be being naive, but I do know that the players have direct access to his thoughts.
I can't imagine
anything else. We're just speculating.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to operate like that. I also, I'm sitting here and I go, okay, so let's play. If we're playing this what if hypothetical game, because that's apparently what we're doing. Like, let's say Isaiah Hunter doesn't drop the deep ball that lands right in his breadbasket, which was basically a perfect throw, right?
Yeah. What was the score?
That was 14-6 at that point, I believe.
Yeah.
So right in his breadbasket, basically a perfect throw against good coverage. Let's say Isaiah brings that one in, and let's say he makes the throw to Dane Key. How much differently are we talking about this? That's two plays. One was a drop. One was on Dylan for not making the throw. Like this is what I find frustrating. It's kind of like what you're talking about with the Maryland thing, is if you change just a couple plays or couple variables, then it changes the entire narrative. Well, that's not accurate, right? Two plays don't change the truth. Two plays might change how we feel about something, but they don't change what it is, right? And that's why I brought up a throw that should have been made by Dylan and a throw that was made by Dylan, but they both result in incompletions, right? They both result in the exact same thing. And I sit here and I go, okay, so if those things are true, if those are completions, the same things have to be true when they weren't. Like, you can't take that out and just say, okay, all of this has to be thrown out because these two things didn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's what I struggle with some of the reactions is it seems like we ignore that. It seems like we ignore that Nebraska's offensive line and quarterback and offensive coordinator did a better job against a better defensive front. So maybe it isn't a physical thing or a player's thing or a schematic thing.
Let me ask you something. If Coach Rule came out today or somebody asked him the question and he says, hey, you know what? We just didn't respect Minnesota the way we should. Would we be more or less upset? Like, do we just want an answer?
Yeah, but
I don't know if that's I'm just saying, like,
if that was what he felt the answer was.
Yeah.
I would feel better in the sense of like, hey, I feel like he's being honest with us. Right? There's other people that would use that as an indictment to, well, why didn't you respect him? And you have to play to the standard. What happened to the standard is the standard. The name is places upon. Like, no matter what he says after a game like this, it will be used against him in a court of law.
Yeah.
Like, that is, like, the Miranda rights are in full effect here because of how the game looked. And I understand that, right? Like, when you play a game that looks that bad, that's part of the punishment is whatever you say can and will be used against you. So for me personally, if he just came like, hey, we just did not have the juice. We didn't respect Minnesota's physicality. We didn't respect the fact that they genuinely have animosity for us, and we didn't bring it the way we needed to. That makes me say, yeah, that's exactly what I saw. I agree. But other people would then use that against him. So nothing is going to make everyone feel better. And I think that's sort of the tough spot.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I'm not going to kid you. Like, it just kind of, it bugs me a little bit that we keep wanting to make it about a lot of things. And there's this part of me that knows that a couple things could be true at once.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I think it boils down to you get a chance to solve all your problems with aggression. And one team did and one team didn't. And I can still get into the schematics and play calling and all of that, right? We can talk about run fits and getting scooped and pass protection calls. But the duality of it is man, sometimes you still got to run, block, catch,
tackle. Can we tackle?
You know what I mean?
We'd love it if we tackled a little better.
I mean, halfway through, and this is kind of ridiculous as an analogy, but I can just tell you the sentiment of two things being true at once. The player was down in a game that we lost this year, and I went over to the coach because and he's walking across the field, and I go, man, your OC is really in his bag. Doing a really good job of play calls, right? I could say, hey, you got to give this staff some credit for as much criticism as this staff has taken in their past. That this is a well-coached game tonight. And I can still come back and say, you know what? We didn't match their toughness. Like a couple, like
both can be true.
Yeah,
both can be true,
and it all matters.
Yeah, 100%. It all matters. And I just sit here and I go, okay, I understand when a game looks like it did against Minnesota. There's going to be anger. There's going to be frustration, and two things can be true at once. But I guarantee, if it was true against Maryland, and Michigan State and Cincinnati and whoever else, then all of a sudden it didn't change against Minnesota. I lean much more to Nebraska didn't show up, right? Yeah. Nebraska didn't show up against Minnesota. You want to take whatever you will outside of that for scheme and players and coaches and whatever else, okay. But if Nebraska shows up against Minnesota, we're not having these conversations this morning. Let's get to Jay Foreman and see if we can get some answers from Jay coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, defensively we gave up the one long touchdown. And other than that, they didn't really move the ball against us in the first half. It didn't, it felt like that at times. But they had 52 yards passing. They had, aside for that long run, they didn't have many yards rushing. So, but it definitely felt like we were on our heels. Even though and then obviously in the third quarter, the 4th and 1 defensive holding call was a really, really crucial call. Felt like we had them stopped. Everyone played the play, and but so defensively, I just we're on the field a lot. But offensively, the very first play of the game, we had a missed assignment, just was out of whack. Obviously, Rocco going down, and our prayers are up for him. Hopefully, he's okay. They had to take him to the hospital. It sounded like, and then obviously losing Pritch. But I just honestly, Sean, we were just kind of out of whack the whole day. They pressured us. When we had chances to make plays, we ran by them. We didn't get, just. And I don't say it's any one thing, right? Just at no point did we make the play you needed to make to win the game. Couldn't, it was 1 for 5 on third down in the first half, and just a really bad effort.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
So just watch the film and learn from it. Adversity is part of, it's part of the season. We're going to go through ups and downs. 1 week, you're going to be on top of the world. The next week, people are going to be hating on you. So just, dealing with adversity and learning from it and just understanding that we got to just make everything about us. The outside media is going to say all those things, but just focusing on what we got to do to get better, and that's just watching the film, each person watching the film and learning from their mistakes and growing. So that's all it comes down to, honestly, is just that. So obviously I'm disappointed. I never want to lose a game. But I just know we got a special group of guys, and I'm gonna just go into film tomorrow and just watch the film and get better. But man, I'm not really, when it comes to this team, I know we didn't execute, but I still love all these dudes, and I'm just gonna keep fighting for them, and I know they're gonna keep fighting for me. So this next week's crucial for our program. This next week will be extremely crucial, bouncing back and playing against Northwestern. So we just got to focus on learning from this and then flushing it, and then moving on to the next game.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Seems like a lot of us need some counseling after Friday's game. A lot of us also need some counseling when it comes to our finances. You just need an expert every once in a while to keep track of where you're at. And luckily, Centris Federal Credit Union has you covered. They've got a partnership with Green Path Financial Wellness to help you stay on track. Whether you need debt counseling or just some overall financial guidance, Centris and Green Path have you covered. Become a Centris member today and learn more about their partnership with Green Path at centrisfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA. We're going to get a hold of Jay Foreman here in just a second to continue this conversation about Nebraska and what went wrong. DB, you've got some questions apparently for our guy, Jay.
just a few.
Do you want to just different perspective?
Yeah, because I think, like if you want to get like into the football stuff, that's one conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's I say this sometimes, it's the macro, it's the 30,000 foot versus the 3 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a couple of different things can be true at once. But I think the good thing about talking to a guy like Jay is you're going to get kind of what you get from me. There's the ownership from a player,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's times where you look at it from a coaching aspect too. So it's typically not all one thing or the other. So I think that's why Jay's good at this.
Let's get to him. Jay Foreman, former Husker. What's going on, Jay?
Not much, man. Just a regular old cool Monday. It's fall officially, probably a little chilly outside.
Hey, man, you look fantastic on Saturday, man. You rock that gray and that facial hair, man. You wear that well, my man.
Hey, man, it's a byproduct of losing 2 bets. My mini-me, the youngest, keeps getting straight A's. So then that was the beard was the first loss. And then the growth of the hair is. I think she just thinks that I look funny the way I am, so it's all good.
Hey, listen, we're both taking L's in our household. That's fine. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, so I appreciate you just being able to pick up the phone, man. I try not to take advantage of our friendship, but man, where do you come out on? Maybe it's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. Kind of players doing what they need to do and matching a team's intensity versus the execution or the game plan not being what you want it to be.
Yeah. I think the big part is probably 80-20, showing up with the mind, with your mind right. That's, a coach can't control that. You can get you inspired at the beginning of the game, but showing up and knowing that you got a competition and then spreading that wealth in the locker room and more importantly, demanding it out of everybody and know what the standard is 80% of it. Now, the game plan and all that stuff, this, you coach, tended to change when things are called the perfect call or at least a realistic call for a good outcome, in the situations turn into like obliteration or not even close to it. You get off rhythm. And then it kind of just becomes a little bit, I wouldn't say a guessing game, but let's see what can get these guys going, because everything that you probably expected, say if a chart of 6 or 8, scenarios or plays, probably weren't executed, and the energy of the team, definitely probably resonated in some of those things. I think the easiest thing to do is say, you give up 9 sacks, you need all new offensive linemen, and then we need to fire the offensive line coach. And then if you're not doing well offensively, then it's the game plan. I think really what it comes down to is your intentions of showing up ready to play and understanding who you realistically are. Not who you say you are, just who you realistically are and who you want to be are drastically 2 different things. Because that type of game, Minnesota, is a player-led game, showing up ready to play and understanding that you're out there in the competition, because it wasn't anything fancy. I mean, at the end of the day, Minnesota did not it's hard for me to say they're a bad team, because I think Nebraska's better than what they played, but I don't think they're a very good team. I think it's on the over the years of PJ Fleck, when he's really been rolling, this is probably, I wouldn't say the worst team. It's one of the lower
relative
teams.
to his successful years. I agree with you.
Right, and especially across the lines. I mean, you got to think they've made a history on the down low of like 1st round picks, 2nd round picks, 3rd round picks, guys who's in the league just collecting big checks and not really getting all the fanfare because of all the the Penn States, Ohio States, Michigans, and now Oregon's and all those guys getting all the offensive linemen getting the glory. And the same thing across the defensive line. I mean, I think there was a 4-year period. Minnesota was a top 10 defense.
Yeah.
Just like craziness. And so it's a little bit lower level team, but that doesn't mean that those guys aren't Division I athletes and know how to compete. So I think it was a learning lesson on you show up and you beat everybody. Just because Purdue had some success and really relatively gave Minnesota the game doesn't mean that you're not going to get their best shot. I think the learning lesson is this. Everybody I wouldn't say is essentially coaching for their jobs, but they have a lot of pride in their jobs in this coaching business, right? So if Minnesota's defense or their team doesn't look up to snuff against Purdue, Minnesota has a standard of we need to get back right, and we have to do it quickly. So the intensity and the magnitude of the Nebraska game, even after a victory for Minnesota, ugly or whatever you want to call it, you're going to get their best effort. You're going to have their best game plan. Both teams know each other. The players know each other or kind of have a good beat on it. I'm sure Minnesota's done some scouting on any of the transfer portal guys, so it wasn't like you're catching them by surprise. And you just got off to a little bit of a slow start. And then more importantly, in the third quarter, just had a couple breaks that didn't go your way and weren't able to kind of get that motor going, which you were able to do in the last couple weeks. And this is a thing that you know this from coaching, and we know this as players. I've been blunt. Like, look, we played on one of the greatest teams of all time and went on probably one of the greatest runs of all time outside of maybe recent Alabama. And the way that you do that, and a big part of it was the results were always going to be the results of the process. So you can be happy that you won the game, but not be happy how you won the game. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can enjoy the win, but understand that you got to get better. And maybe there was just a couple things that kind of like were a little bit leaky, and guys always think, oh, we'll turn it on in the end. And, you just do that in the Big Ten, especially when a team like Minnesota kind of plays so close to the vest. Trying to really get that play. Like, we played around their play count, which is perfect for them. No more than 60 plays and kind of just slug it out and make it a kind of, like an ugly, like oozing type of win and for Minnesota. And just a learn lesson for them that, that second half or that first 6 minutes of that second half is probably as important as the first 6 minutes of starting the first quarter.
Jay, so take me kind of inside the mentality of a football team here a little bit, because I think a lot of people who didn't play this game at a high level like myself sit here and we wonder as fans from the outside, like, hey, how does that happen when it looks like, assuming this is what happened, that Nebraska just kind of didn't emotionally have themselves ready to show up on Friday night? Like, how does that happen over the course of the week? Do you kind of have a sense on Tuesday, Wednesday, you're like, things feel a little off? Do you just show up on game day and it doesn't feel quite right? Like, how does that happen? Because I think a lot of us, that's something a lot of us don't understand.
I mean, the easy thing, I guess if you have a bad week of practice and all that, but I don't think that was the case or whatever. I think sometimes it just happens. I think it's a learning process for a team that's learning how to be a championship type of team and players. It's the middle part of the season. So you got to think that, you have to have that mental fortitude to get yourself going. And it's a shorter week. Obviously, it's a travel week, or a travel game. So it's even shorter in the sense of, come Wednesday, you're thinking about, I'm getting on the plane tomorrow at some point in time heading to Minneapolis. And so where Minneapolis is thinking about, we're going to practice, we can get extra film, we're at home. It's a little bit different type of mindset. So I just think it's a I wouldn't call it immaturity, like in the sense of like immature sometimes is be like, okay, where, like you're out to 2:00 in the morning and thinking that it's high school again. I think it's probably just a little bit of inexperience of being in this type of situation. You get ranked, so then, the back row, the patting on the back is probably, a little bit more this week as far as the outside people telling you finally you're ranked. And sometimes when you finally get ranked, you're like, okay, we finally arrived, and boom, you're right back in the arena in Minnesota. So I think it's a little bit of circumstances, maybe attention to detail, but then I think also like in that locker room, you got to have guys that are, willing to push those buttons and understand that the magnitude of these two road games and what could possibly come out of those road games. And obviously Minnesota was able to take advantage of our little bit of inexperience in that situation. And so really, I think the big tell-all, or not the big tell-all, a big part of it will be, how you approach practice this week, how much you take accountability for it, as far as like, and that has to be internally. You don't need to get up and, do the whole Tim Tebow thing and all that stuff. And this, that stuff, you don't need to do that, but it's probably within those walls in their locker room, true accountability. And then, be willing to understand that, what, we didn't live up to our expectations. We didn't play to our standard. And we're going to do this, actively address it. Because as much as the Maryland game and the like say Cincinnati game and the Michigan State game where you can draw back on it and say, okay, we're going to compete to the very end, right? And if you want to kind of take some out of the Michigan game, it's like 1-score game or whatever it is. You also have to have this Minnesota game in the back of your mind and say, okay, I'm a little tired. Maybe I need 15 more minutes of tape. Maybe I need to communicate a little bit more. Maybe ask the question that I might think I might know, not just for me. It could be for Damon or Ravi in there that are playing another position. Because what affects me at my position definitely affects you too. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's where you just got to get through it. And that's the hard part, because you're in this transfer portal world of like you're always adding new rosters. So guys got to learn how to get that connection really quick. But then also you got to understand once this season starts, none of that stuff matters. And so game 1 to 12. We have got to, be locked in and keep raising the standard week in and week out.
Hey, what's the dichotomy, or what's the kind of the trick to understand? Because this is what you'll hear fans say. And I agree with some of it, right? Where Minnesota's just been a better program than Nebraska the last 10 years, and they've had a ton of success against Nebraska the last 10 years. But this Nebraska team needs this chapter in the book for their growth too, handling being ranked in the top 25, a short week of preparation, back-to-back road opportunities where you can acknowledge that Minnesota is what they is, but that doesn't mean that's not their journey, right? Like that's not this team's journey, but you can recognize, because the low-hanging fruit for media and fans is, well, why can't you just accept that Minnesota's been like, that's a loser mentality, right? That's for
right, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
that's it. I mean that's
like that's what
it's part of the reason why, and that kind of resonates.
They don't have to just accept it. Can be true, but you don't want them accepting it. Like, what are we talking about?
You never accept that. I mean, it's like you don't want to be second fiddle to anyway. I mean, it's almost like stepping on the field and be like, okay, well, we'll be okay with losing today as long as it's not too bad. At the end of the day, a loss is a loss, and Minnesota over the last 10 years is been better. They've had more stability. I think they've had 3 coaches in the last 10 years, right? And if you maybe even, I'm trying to add up the numbers, maybe even if you go a little bit farther, Bo and all that, and even Minnesota went through a little tumultuous time with, Jerry Kill getting sick, Clay taking over, the false allegations against some of their star players, had tremendous amount of turmoil in the athletic department for decades. Trust me, I've read about it, and when I was up there, even in high school, and they've been able to kind of stabilize it with PJ, and it's been rough with him, but they've kind of kept the main thing, and they're over the last 10 years they've been more successful. But if Nebraska wants to get to where they want to be, and you can't go from 0 to straight up domination, you got to be able to answer the bell when it's needed, when it's not ideal. You got to be very, very comfortable with being uncomfortable, and that's a locker room thing, right? Let's get a little friction, and it can't be, and it also doesn't necessarily have to be me like coming down on Damon when you miss a tackle. It's got to be like, I need you because I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be like, okay, I'm off my game, dude. I need you to get me today, right? That's where it comes. It's not just give. It's give and take, and that's what you have to do. And they got to understand where Minnesota's at. You can't change that game, right? You got to learn from it, and then just really hyper focus on Northwestern, because as much as Minnesota was a lot of pressure,
you can't allow that to beat you twice.
Yeah, because Northwestern, and it's not even a physical thing, right? It's not like it's more of a mental thing, because Northwestern's coming in here. They just pretty much a feather in the cap. Braun might still be there. He just got a coach fired. They went to Penn State in a must-win for them, beat them. That same mentality they got out on that plane to fly in the Happy Valley is the same mentality they're coming from Chicago down here. We've done it once. We have the recipe. We held serve against Purdue, an uptick. Well, listen, everything that you can think of, they're creating confidence and a blind faith in what they've been able to do. So as you prepare for it, you don't wilter and say, oh, well, they just beat Purdue, who took Minnesota to the, essentially the woodshed, except for a couple plays. You got to say, okay, look, Northwestern's coming down here, going to give her our best shot, but their best shot isn't going to be better than our best play or how we're going to play on Saturday. And then you just got to actively prepare to do so, and then go out there and just play. Go out there and play football. Go out there and understand, you have a lot of great things that you have down there. You got the facility. You got you're well taken care of. You got money in your pocket. You got a fan base that's going to be there. You're playing at home. But then you got to understand you still got to go out and play football. And
you got to understand you can't get scooped on the second level, right?
Right.
Those are the things.
Right. You can't be going right and the ball's going left. You can this isn't like, hey, I did my job and you're 40 yards away while Damon's getting double teamed and obliterated. You got to go and get over there and jump in the fight. And guys just got you got to tackle better. You got to probably a little bit be more tightened up in what you want to do. The easy thing is now, like you saw something, and the funny thing about it is there was a guy on, I guess X or Twitter, whatever. I mean, it's called X now. It was like, on a 3-step drop, like they're trying to say Dylan was in a 3-step drop. Listen, bro, he was in shotgun 8 yards back. If any quarterback can get 8 yards on a 3-step drop, then he has the most athletic ability ever at the quarterback position. That ball ain't coming out. That's deep. That's a deep drop trying to get a chunk yard. They were talking about when he gave up a sack. So, it's like, you got to recognize the noise, because I always do think you have to understand what people are feeling, right? When you're not, when you're playing good, and when you're not playing good. But then you can't get punch drunk off of it, right? You gotta accept, because as much as you accept, hey, you guys are the second coming in '95 a few weeks ago, or you're on the cusp on the come up or whatever thing, like, you have to accept that too. But you don't have to be blinded by it, because you could be winning but still continue to work on getting better. You could lose the game and still have things to work on. Michigan's the same example. Like, say you won Michigan 30-27, but played the exact same.
You still got to get better.
Right, you still got to do it. And then you go to Minnesota, you don't play well, you still got to get better. But you got to dig in, though. You get what I'm saying? This can't be rinse and repeat. The intensity and the sacrifice has to be done. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where you get, because this is the time where you got to really push yourself to do more. Because you do this, you look right down the barrel because you win this game, and then now you're right back in the ball game again. You get what I'm saying? And there's very rarely that you get to remedy the gas face twice in a season. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Blue blood coming in. They're supposed to be all that. A little revenge on your mind. You know what I'm saying? Lincoln Riley that has the dry brisket on Thanksgiving, all that stuff. He's trying to get back right. All them things, man. You know what I'm saying? You should never lose to a coach that has dry brisket on Thanksgiving.
That is our guy, Jay.
Oh, that's
Foreman.
that's that gunpowder chowder for real.
Hey man, he said Happy Thanksgiving, boy. I said, man, that thing is dry. You know what I'm saying? Whoever catered that in, boy, your smoker was turned up by 100 degrees too much.
Ooh, hey, I appreciate you on Saturday, my man. It's all love all the time.
Yeah, always, man.
Appreciate you.
That is Jay Foreman. We appreciate it, Jay. We'll talk to you again soon. That is our guy, Jay Foreman. We'll be back with Brent Sobleski from Bleacher Report, talk a little NFL on another crazy NFL weekend. That's DBM, Ravi, Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's a great game for us from a learning perspective. There's going to be a lot of things on film that we can take away, some positives and certainly some negatives. Obviously, we're trying to figure this roster out, figure out combinations. I was really curious to see how we would perform with the lights on, and some guys perform better than others, and that's okay. But to score 71 points on Iowa State with 65 or 6 possessions, whatever it was, they're a hard team to score on. And I thought the first half our ball security, ball movement was really good. The second half, they were able to muddy it up a little bit more, and we coughed it up a little more than we needed to. So, but all in all, I think nobody got hurt, and we got a lot of guys on the floor. I think we played 11 guys, 10 minutes or more. So that gave us it's going to give us some really good film to evaluate.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
On the sideline as Pacheco races. Oh, we got a flag in the end zone, but it's a touchdown for the moment by Pacheco. Dart, Thomas the block. Off to the running back, Scatterboo. There was a block inside. He's going to stiff arm his way in. Touchdown Giants, Scatterboo. After the big play from Nichols, Damon's going to keep it, and he is in for the touchdown.
Taylor sets him as a receiver. Now they do a jet sweep to Taylor. Taylor, zigzag move. Taylor works in for the touchdown.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centrist Federal Credit Union. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Brent Sobleski, an NFL analyst for Bleacher Report. Brent, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing well, and I'm probably feeling better than New York Giants fans this morning.
I don't know who could possibly be feeling worse than New York Giants fans this morning.
Well, I don't know. Listen, I'm a Steelers fan, and I feel pretty awful, so I don't know what either one of you guys are talking about. We just lost to Joe Flacco in a terrible defense.
Were you up by 18 with 6 minutes left?
Well, listen, did we lose to a team that is like been a sieve defensively? I mean, they benched Cam Taylor-Britt. That's our guy here, man, and they still got a dub. I'm pissed. It is what it is. Are we sure Brian Daboll's still a pretty good coach? Or were we ever convinced of that?
Well, so, I mean, I wasn't ever sure, Brent, but what, as you're watching that absolutely absurd, let's start with Giants Broncos here. Like, as you're watching that absolutely absurd game, like, how much of that are you thinking, what are the Giants doing? How much are you thinking, like, how did we even get here? Like, what's going through your mind as you're watching that play out?
Well, let me first say, to be fair for the Giants fans, there is reasons to be excited, and those reasons are the rookies with Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. But what you're thinking at that point is could you possibly blow this based on the fact that it would be a historic loss? And by historic, I'm not being hyperbolic. Literally, the Broncos were the first team ever to score 33 points in the fourth quarter after not scoring a single point in the first three quarters in NFL history. That's how bad it was statistically from that type of meltdown. And really, my concern for the Giants coming out of that is, okay, yeah, you have some positives with those young rookies on offense, but what is your defense doing, right? This is what you were supposed to hang your hat on this year. You have invested so greatly in your defensive front when you have Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau, and then you bring in Abdul Carter. And yet they weren't able to slow the Broncos when it mattered the most. And I think that's really problematic for the team and how it's currently constructed based on how they want to move forward.
So when you're watching, as this is kind of unfolding, how'd you want New York to play in the fourth quarter?
I mean, that's difficult because at this point, I grew up a Browns fan, so anytime you go conservative, I start getting the heebie-jeebies because I lived through all the Denver Broncos stuff in the 80s and Marty Schottenheimer. So you want them – I now err on the opposite side. Be aggressive, right? I believe in the NFL specifically today when games are often so close late in the contest and we see so many comebacks based on how the offense is favored due to all the rules in the league. You want to step on your opponent's throat and make sure they are finished. And not doing that, I think, to me, is a major disservice to your team and your ability to win week in and week out.
Brent, so outside of the ridiculous Giants and Broncos game, what else, I guess, caught you off guard from the weekend in terms of just pure results? Was it, I mean, the 49ers with their MASH unit actually looking like a functional football team still? Like, what caught you off guard yesterday?
I don't know if I'll say it caught me off guard, but I think a realization dawned upon me. Mm-hmm. Guys, the Indianapolis Colts are for real.
They're
like
the
legit.
real deal, man.
Pretty good.
That's my off-season hot take of the year.
It was.
Right?
It was. I have to give him credit.
I think we've discussed this previously, but like we're now 7 weeks in. They are the best team in the NFL with the highest scoring offense in the NFL. And Daniel Jones is playing like an elite quarterback.
And they're so physical.
Yes, and Daniel Jones is playing like an elite quarterback. Sorry, I had to say it again.
They play with some – listen, they got lead in their pencil, boy. They bring it.
Now, they do have some issues defensively because of injuries, right? Travarius Ward just got put on injured reserve, so he's out for 4 games. Their secondary is basically just been pieced together through guys that they've either signed off of practice squads or off the street, having Xavier Howard abruptly retire on them in midseason. So there are issues there, and that's what we have to look for when it comes to actual contendership with that team. But when you see him week in and week out, it may not be the most surprising thing at this point, but just how efficient they are on offense and moving the ball at that level at a consistently high pace may be the story of the entire NFL season so far. And I think that's where a lot of us are taken aback based on what we've seen.
I think you'll get the question when I ask it. Who's most like their current record? The Green Bay, or the Packers, or the Chargers?
Man, I was going to go off the board and say the Dallas Cowboys because their offense is so good and their defense sucks, which is why you're 500 overall.
Seems like the Chargers should be better and the Packers should be worse. Who's most like their current record?
I would say the Chargers in the options you gave me, just because, I mean, what is the old saying? They're charging their way through a season, and there's a lot of connotations to that. In most cases, it's finding ways to lose.
Even with Harbaugh, like how are they 4-3 when you look at how they lost to the Giants and the Commanders?
Well, the reason I'm saying that they're most like the Chargers and representative of their record is because one of the things that organization specifically has had issues with, feels like almost 2 decades now, is injuries, right? That team is a mash unit at the moment. And if you watch Justin Herbert yesterday, he played like Superman. Unfortunately, the rest of the team just is terrible and barely holding together at this point. And so that's, to me, why they most are representative of their record, because it's what we've seen from them before. High expectations, really good quarterback play as of late, and yet they still can't put everything together because they can't keep people healthy on the field.
In your mind, do the Patriots have a real shot to win the AFC East?
Yes, absolutely. And the reason why, well, twofold. One, Drake May. He is literally budding into a superstar before our very eyes, and it's unbelievable. He's literally better than Tom Brady. Caveat. For one day, he was better than Tom Brady ever was for the New England Patriots, right? And setting the single-game completion record, which was awesome to see. But it shows how they've built around him properly this offseason. Now they're taking full advantage of the talent on the entire roster, which leads me to my second point about the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel is a legitimate coach. Mike Vrabel knows how to get teams prepared. Even when he was in Tennessee and they were struggling at points, you always knew when you were on the field that was going to be a tough game because they were going to be prepared and they were going to play physical. And so you're getting that now with the New England Patriots as well. So it's a real net positive to the direction in which they're going.
Brett, let me ask you about Tampa Bay. They're not even healthy yet. And we continue the last couple of years to overlook Mayfield's productivity. Why do you think he can't get the benefit of the doubt? That front office has been good. Why does Tampa get the but?
I think a lot of it with Baker Mayfield is preconceived notions, right? Either you loved him or you didn't when he came in the league, and so you're kind of steadfast in what you believed. Again, being in Ohio, being around the Browns for a long time, I fully understand how there is lingering resentment towards Baker Mayfield from a lot of fans and a lot of people around the league. But if you're asking me personally, I think he's the NFL MVP at this point in the juncture based on how he's leading that team and the fact that he doesn't have his full complement of wide receivers, right? There's points where he's had his top 3 guys were out of the lineup. All right, Mike Evans hurt, Chris Godwin hurt, Jalen McMillan. You had Emeka Egbuka emerge, but then he got
O-line's been banged up.
Yeah, exactly. All the above, and yet he keeps putting them in position to win. So I think a lot of it has to do with Baker, his mentality, and whether people actually like him or not. I think it's unfair, of course, but that's the type of world we live in nowadays. You can't deny, much like Daniel Jones, right? Much like Drake May, guys we already talked about. You cannot deny what he's doing this year, and it's been exceptional.
Brent, as we kind of look around, is there a team that you look at and you go, I'm just not buying it? Whether it's, I don't know,
I got one.
4-2 Bears team, or, I mean, I mentioned the 49ers earlier. I'm a 49ers fan. With the injuries and stuff, I'm not really buying the 5-2. Like, who do you look at and you go like, yeah, I'm gonna need to see a little bit more still?
The team, for me, I'm not a Denver Broncos believer, despite how we started this conversation. I don't believe in Bo Nix being able to play at the highest level possible for them to compete where they want to be. I think defensively they're very good, but at the same time, I don't see enough from that offense to think that they can win the AFC West outright. You have the Chiefs actually just full on surging at this point, and Patrick Mahomes basically back to form, almost MVP level form. So I won't be surprised in the least if the Chiefs once again win that division. The Broncos take a half step back, make the playoffs, but likely go out in the first round or two.
Brent, every week I tune in just because I like Aaron Glenn. But the team I thought you were going to say are the Carolina Panthers good?
Maybe it's because I don't think that, even though they have a 4-3 record.
They seem like they definitely have an identity. They run the ball and they play D.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And that keeps you in games, right? We know those two things travel. That's the old saying. And they just got Chuba Hubbard back. Now, excuse me, granted, Hubbard did not perform all that well in his return to lineup. He averaged, 2.2 yards per carry. It was not pretty in that regard. But once he gets back to speed coming off that calf injury, and you have Rico Dowdell in there as well, that's a two-headed monster that you can lean on, whether Bryce Young's healthy or not. I mean, obviously he got slightly dinged yesterday. But at the same time, he's not the quarterback you expected him to be. So take less onus off of him, which should make him more effective and comfortable within the scheme. And clearly they want to be physical, and it's working well to them. Now, with that said, can they keep up with legitimate offenses in the NFL? And I don't believe that's the case at all, even with that run game. Because you look at Carolina, do you think they can keep up with let's say the Colts, as mentioned earlier, or Chiefs right now, or Dallas Cowboys, the way they're playing offense? And I don't think that's possible in any way, because they don't have the explosivity in their pass game to really keep up with the NFL's top offenses.
Brett, as you go through and look at some of these disappointing teams, I think there's one that DB and I both looked at before the season. We're like, are they going to be – we're just going to assume that what we saw last year is real. What do you do with the Washington Commanders and the sophomore slump of Jaden Daniels?
So I was right on the Colts to the good, and so far I'm right on the Commanders to the bad. All regression team right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if I necessarily want to say Daniels hasn't played as well. He's just been injured, right? He missed 2 games due to injury, comes back, gets injured again. Marcus Mariota coming into the lineup yesterday. If you don't have that unique weapon in your offense, it's really going to stunt how your overall effectiveness. So that to me is really, with that lack of inconsistency at the game's most important position, or lack of consistency at the game's most important position, it's really hindered what they can do from multiple different directions. And then furthermore, some of their skill players around the quarterback position have not played as well this year as we expected. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. In regression candidate, I think they're still good enough if Daniels can get healthy and start playing to his level. But it's not going to be anywhere near what we saw last year.
When you're taking a look at what has to happen in the AFC South, I get it. The Colts are doing Colts things. But if you're a Texans fan, how concerned are you if we both agree that we think DeMeco Ryans is a good coach?
I do agree that he's a good coach.
I do too.
I think they have natural limitations that were placed upon them based on the roster. And that's not the head coach's job. So he's got to make the best of what he has available to him. And when you've done what they've done with their offensive line over the last 2 seasons, it's a travesty, especially when you have a good young quarterback in C.J. Stroud, who has regressed because he does not have the support around him necessary. There is talent at wide receiver. They're old at running back. Even when Joe Mixon was healthy, he was nearing 30. Nick Chubb now is on the downside of his career. Obviously, you had injuries, major injuries to Tank Dell. That didn't help things. But at the same time, you need to properly protect him. And they have reshuffled that offensive line so much over the last year or season and a half that it just becomes difficult. I don't think typical fans realize how important that is to overall team success. If you go back and listen to some of the teams we're discussing offensively and how good they are, the Indianapolis Colts arguably have the best offensive line in football, or right there, right? The Dallas Cowboys, they just got healthy with Tyler Booker back. Even without Booker, they were playing very well in the trenches. Look at the Chicago Bears right now, surging on a 4-game win streak, right? They're winning because of that offensive line, and they made a change at left tackle in order to get to that point. So with the Texans and that upheaval constantly blocking, I think there are issues. With that said, there is an opening in the AFC South past the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. The Jacksonville Jaguars might be 4-3, but Trevor Lawrence has never taken that step everyone's expected him to. The Tennessee Titans are an absolute disaster. So that leaves you room for improvement for the Houston Texans, and you have the ability to do so as long as Stroud can stay upright and that defense plays well.
Brent, if I narrowed down the NFC to 3 teams, Buccaneers, Lions, and Eagles, who are you taking?
Wait, say that again. I apologize.
If I narrowed the NFC down to just 3 teams, the Buccaneers, the Lions, and the Eagles, who are you taking?
I'm still taking the Detroit Lions. I still believe in their ability, their coaching staff, their roster is fantastic. They still have a great offensive line. Even without Ben Johnson as their offensive play caller, I think they've been absolutely stellar at points this year. And they've been in this situation at this point. They're ready for that next push to get into the Super Bowl. Eagles are obviously experienced as well, but they're still trying to figure things out. It was promising this past weekend. They're like, hey, we have great wide receivers. Let's push the ball down the field. The fact it took them this long to get there is a problem unto itself. So, and just start using play action. But I do believe in Detroit and what they can do.
You got to kind of give – I get it. He's the laughing stock because he's silly, not because people don't think he's a good coach. He just doesn't fit the mold. But without Ben, they lost Glasnow. His staff got rated, and they're still legit, man. Dan Campbell, he may be underappreciated, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think he's ever going to live down the biting kneecaps comment, right? There's just certain things. He was even wrong. It's just certain things that stick in people's mind. Like I was just talking about Baker Mayfield a little bit ago. There's just certain things that stick in people's minds, whether it's positive or negative, and that's just the way they're always going to see the guy. They're always going to see Dan Campbell as this big former NFL meathead that loves Metallica, that, 6'5", 265 pounds, and that means he can't be a cerebral coach. And he is one of the very best at connecting with his players and putting them in a position to succeed. And we should credit him for that more often than we do.
Brent, if I gave you the exact same exercise with the AFC, I think we have to include more teams. So I'm going to give you Patriots, Bills, Colts, Broncos, Chiefs. Patriots, Bills, Colts, Broncos, Chiefs. Who are you taking in the AFC?
I want to say the Colts just because of our earlier conversation, but it has to be.
You don't trust the Colts, right? I mean,
no, not yet.
I mean, come on,
not yet, not yet. Well, not with that defense. If that defense was playing better right now, I would feel a little more confident. But the Chiefs right now are flying high, and I'm being dead serious when I say they are playing as well as any team in the NFL at this very moment. With Patrick Mahomes getting back to where he was, and more importantly, getting the weapons around him to fully take advantage of what they can do as a team. You get Rashee Rice back from his 6-game suspension, right? You've already had Tyquan Thornton stepping up. Hollywood Brown's back in the lineup. Then Xavier Worthy's back in the lineup. Now, there are concerns about Trey Smith. His back locked up this past weekend, but as long as he doesn't miss significant time, that offense can be rolling in a hurry, and we know what that entails in the NFL with the Chiefs rolling.
Yeah, as much as I was right about the Commanders and the Colts, I said, this is the famous DB quote. I said, you know what? I'm going to take the Chargers. I finally believe in them, but I'm going to be kicking myself all year knowing that the Chiefs still have Mahomes and Andy Reid. And you know what? That's going to be true too, because despite me knowing better,
did it anyway.
I did it anyway. And here are the Chiefs, lo and behold, right where I thought they would be.
That's actually the name of his autobiography. Despite me knowing better, I did it anyway.
Hey, that's actually 100% accurate.
Really,
That's my
really
personality.
good too.
Yeah. I mean, they're just they look. I'm like, why would I have said what I said and do it anyway?
Do you feel I never did this? I want to make that very clear. But was the narrative around Mahomes getting like a little stupid this offseason where they're like, well, I don't know, maybe he's like the fourth best quarter. Like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here?
It's
I'm not making that up, right? Like that's what people were talking about.
No. It's greatness fatigue, right?
Yeah.
It's like in the NBA is the greatest example because you could either use LeBron or Michael as the example, depending on which version or what generation you're in. Because they were so great at all time, they should just be acknowledged, like the tribal chief in WWE at all times. And they're not, because people want to see other people play great, and it just wears you down after a while. And I just look at Mahomes and I say it. I turned 45 this month with the utmost certainty in my voice. Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback I've ever seen at his peak, period. And I've seen, Brady, Manning, Marino, Elway during my lifetime and so on and so forth, Favre, Rodgers. But to me, Mahomes is the best I've ever seen when he's playing at his absolute best. And we're getting to that point again, and that's downright scary.
And when he doesn't just have all waiver wire receivers.
Yeah, even then he's putting on numbers, and that's
true.
That's what's amazing.
Brent, we appreciate the time as always. Great stuff, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, gentlemen. You guys have a good one.
That is Brent Sobleski. Yeah, I don't know.
Is he crazy? Is he Kobe? Stop me! Like, at no point did I say that Mahomes wasn't the best quarterback in the AFC.
No,
like,
our
It
conversation was.
didn't have anything to do with Mahomes. He was the set aside. Like that is.
Yeah, we were talking
flat out lie.
Our conversation was Burrow, Allen, Lamar.
Those,
after.
Yeah, like what are we talking about?
I don't think I would have let anyone come on the air with me and not acknowledge that Mahomes is just that dude. Like, that's like, what are we doing?
I don't know. He's still the guy that nailed. Who did he say was the whiny, sappy guy?
Oh, I don't remember.
Rod Wave.
Oh, yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
Hey, so Saturday, your boy was on Struggle Bus.
Like, that was the girl problems with Rod Wave. Yeah.
So,
were you rocking Rod Wave in the shower?
No.
Okay.
No. At like 6:30, I had finally eaten, and I was like, that was actually funny.
Yeah.
And I laughed again. But now I'm back to the Kobe hate because that's a lie. I mean, that's not even remotely accurate.
Speaking of quarterbacks, let's take a quick break here. I want to get updated on our quarterback draft. Your boy lost Drew Aller, so I think I'm gonna be in trouble.
Who's gonna run you down?
I think Team Roston might. They're starting to put up some numbers. We might be in trouble
laughed
here.
at those two.
Well, I always laugh at those two, but they might end up taking the lead this
You'll
week.
never hear the end of it.
I know.
It'll be an all-day thing, at least for a week.
I'll remind Rico where he came from. We'll be back. We'll update the NFL or the college draft, and then I kind of wanted to touch on something with a narrative that the broadcasters of the Nebraska Maryland last week were talking about that I thought was a little unusual. We'll get to that and more here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, defensively they gave up the one long touchdown. And other than that, they didn't really move the ball against us in the first half. It didn't, it felt like that at times. But they had 52 yards passing. They had, aside for that long run, they didn't have many yards rushing. So, but it definitely felt like we were on our heels. Even though and then obviously in the third quarter, the 4th and 1 defensive holding call was a really, really crucial call. Felt like we had them stopped. Everyone played the play, and but so defensively, I just we're on the field a lot. But offensively, the very first play of the game, we had a missed assignment, just was out of whack. Obviously, Rocco going down, and our prayers are up for him. Hopefully, he's okay. They had to take him to the hospital. It sounded like, and then obviously losing Pritch. But yeah, I just honestly, Sean, we were just kind of out of whack the whole day. they pressured us. When we had chances to make plays, we ran by them. We didn't, just I don't say that's any one thing, right? Just at no point did we make the play you needed to make to win the game. Couldn't, it was 1 for 5 on third down in the first half, and just a really bad effort.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
So just watch the film and learn from it. Adversity is part of, it's part of the season. We're going to go through ups and downs. 1 week, you're going to be on top of the world. The next week, people are going to be hating on you. So just, dealing with adversity and learning from it and just understanding that we got to just make everything about us. The outside media is going to say all those things, but just focusing on what we got to do to get better, and that's just watching the film, each person watching the film and learning from their mistakes and growing. So that's all it comes down to, honestly, is just that. So obviously I'm disappointed. I never want to lose a game. But I just know we got a special group of guys, and I'm gonna just go into film tomorrow and just watch the film and get better. But man, I'm not really, when it comes to this team, I know we didn't execute, but I still love all these dudes, and I'm just gonna keep fighting for them, and I know they're gonna keep fighting for me. So this next week's crucial for our program. This next week will be extremely crucial, bouncing back and playing against Northwestern. So we just got to focus on learning from this and then flushing it and then moving on to the next game.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you if you've got some auto body issues, you got to go see our friends at Dingman's Collision Center, the best in Omaha. Literally, that's not me just saying it. They've been voted first place best in Omaha for 20 straight years for auto body repair, and it's because of a couple different things. Number one, locally and family owned and operated. They've got deep roots here in Omaha. Number two, they invest in cutting-edge technology and ongoing training so that every repair is done safely and to the highest standards. They've got 4 great Omaha area locations. Go to dingmans.com to learn more and find out how to schedule an appointment if you need some auto body repair. My quarterback draft might need some auto body repair after losing Drew Aller for the season. I might be in some trouble here, DB.
You went from gloating to...
Well, listen, when you lose a guy the way we did our draft, you're in trouble.
Dude, I had Nico. I hung in there. I had Sellers. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, they're still playing. When you lose a guy for the season, you're screwed. Like,
just
it's over.
Hanging around.
Like, let's throw it up there, Rico. Counting Crows guy, huh?
No, I'm actually not.
You seem like, you seem like a big...
Oh, I'm going to run down. Look at Cooch.
You seem like a big white guy in dreads deal. No Counting Crows?
Oh, my
Yeah, so
goodness.
TK and
How about
Roston
the
tied
surge?
first. Woof. Me and KB are in deep trouble with our...
Is this after just 1 week?
No.
Do you like how
But I mean-
Sellers just keeps ball? The number one quarterback coming out in the draft. Oh, allegedly. It's getting me 11 points.
I mean the drop though.
So honestly, the horrifying thing here is if you're Timmy V, because I don't think any of his guys are missing, right?
No, they're just
all those
bad.
guys are still playing. They're just bad, so that's rough. KB and I are both missing a guy for the rest of the season, so we're gonna fall back pretty precipitously. Also, Carson Beck lost me like 12 points on Saturday, so not ideal. But no, Team DB now in still second to last, but you're running some guys down.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to run KB and me both down by the end of the year.
I mean, I hope so. I still have Sellers, though.
Yeah, Sellers is kind of an anchor, and I don't know if Nico doesn't bounce back again. He had a couple nice games though for you. Got you some actual points.
Yeah, I need him to send Madonna here in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
We go out there, but outside of that,
little Donna Summers.
Yeah, slow it down. I'm still.
It's Pavia, man. Pavia's killing it for Roston.
Dude, is he not
Dude,
legit?
Killing it. And then
How about his interviews?
I mean, Moore, Sayin, and Pavia are just crushing it for that squad.
Dude, how can you not want to rock with Pavia?
I struggle with guys with that personality type sometimes.
If I was going to be a beer drinker, I would be with Pavia because he likes Modelo. That's what it's either going to be Modelo or Stella, and I get it. And don't at me because I'm not a beer dude. So
I'll rock the Stella. I do the Stella.
I'm just talking out of my bunda, but those would be the two that I would go with.
Modelo's not bad
because I don't know anything about craft beers.
Oh,
and I would not be much like your seltzer days. I don't know anything about craft beers.
I had a craft beer phase. I got pretty deep into it for a while, so I've got a little bit, but I know what I like and what I don't like now. So I'm not one of those like I just want to try a bunch of different things anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not really. Like I just kind of know what I like.
Yeah. I'll always take some suggestions on a good reposado.
You know what I don't like?
How about me?
Really more of a
Did you
Blanco.
see how long I went Saturday without one beverage?
I didn't.
Yeah,
because I didn't go to at the afterwards. I didn't go.
Yeah, it was well into the day.
Yeah,
because I just know, where I'm bad, and it's just like,
yeah. It's tough. It's
hang in there.
I wanted to talk about the QBs here for a second because last week, not Friday, the week before against Maryland. The broadcast kept saying, and I don't know if you listen to the broadcast when you're rewatching or not.
I don't. It's volumes down, and I got to tag the film.
Yeah. So
I got a screenshot for you. I'll put up later.
So what they, I think it was Devin Gardner or whoever was on the call, the color commentator kept saying, "Hey, I think the Big Ten might have the best quarterback play in the country," and it kept reminding me of this conversation we had all off season, right? We're comparing conferences and we're doing our quarterback draft and doing rankings and things like that. And I go, yeah, I don't think that's true.
I talked to him, so I'm not going to defend anybody, but he's good to me, so I'll rock with it.
No, like I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I don't think that particular take is correct because
this dude is not.
Now there's a couple guys that are better than we thought.
I think Nebraska as a fan base has been worse to Tim than anybody he can remember.
I will say, I thought
he said basketball excluded.
He was better Friday than he was the last time we had him.
Yeah, I have no clue.
But there's a couple guys that have been better in the Big Ten than we thought they were going to be. Kaliak Manis is one.
Yeah.
Malik Washington, I think, is one. Gronowski's been way worse.
I tell you what, that dude will run the rock though, won't he?
That's fine.
I almost nailed that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, you did with Penn State. Yeah.
I'm like, three's not enough. They're begging to take Iowa. You have to unload on Penn State. They almost won, I think, outright.
Yeah. Yeah, they did almost win outright. Childs has been a little better than we thought.
I'm gonna need them to run out of gas though too.
Penn State?
Yeah.
They will. That was the dead cap bounce. They're fine. They'll be awful by the time they play Nebraska. I could guarantee it. That team will have full on quit.
Full on?
Yeah. This Dante Moore, way better than we thought. Maeva better than we thought. Underwood probably better than we thought.
I don't know if Maeva's better than we thought.
He's better than I thought.
You thought.
Better than I
Not
thought.
than I.
Better than I thought.
And he's what I thought he was.
He still throws he gives you
a ton of interceptable
Yes,
ball.
he does.
But he's fine.
But the numbers are good.
You think they're mad about blowing? They didn't really blow a lead. They were up 3, but inexplicably the trickery. Like, what were they doing in that fourth quarter?
I don't know, man.
Did they know the weather was bad and they had the lead?
You presumably.
How about the 4th and inches?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That was.
And listen, I'm rocking with Notre Dame because of Rezac.
Yeah. And I like Freeman a lot. I like Marcus Freeman genuinely a lot.
What? I wonder what they're thinking as a fan base.
I don't know. You want to know what Florida State's thinking as a fan base right now? Because their AD just came out with a statement. You want me to read it real quick?
Yeah.
So
this is never good.
Abbreviated. This is abbreviated. They're like, hey, unmatched.
I don't know. Do you have $100 million in the seat cushion?
Well, so I think you can read through the lines here a little bit that they might be searching for it. So they're like unmatched, passion, blah, 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 whatever. We embrace expectations. As we continue to move forward this season, our comprehensive assessment of the football program will be completed at season's end. Meanwhile, we are fully committed to helping Coach Norvell and the 2025 Seminoles strongly rebound in coming weeks. Translation: if we can find $100 million by the end of the season, this joker's gone.
Yeah.
Like that's all that, like that was literally just like, hey, if somebody wants to if we can find, if we can go over and get Riyadh season to scratch us off a check, we will be in business with the Saudis and we will have a new football coach. Like that's what basically they're saying.
I don't.
Well, Mike Lombardi went over there for UNC, so I assumed
it was a scouting mission.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's a lot of Saudi
You
college
already know
football
how I feel
players.
about Lombardi, so don't even get me started.
So that's where Florida State's at. If they can find $100 million in the kitty, they will. Oh, good on you, Rico. Look at that, right up there on the screen. I didn't even tell him that was coming. So like that's basically, hey, if we can find $100 million, we will.
You think he didn't nail that guy?
Which one?
This one.
We didn't get
just out.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know.
Rico is.
He's on it sometimes.
Shout out to Suave.
He does okay, except for when he's killing you in the group chat.
Oh, it's cool.
It's really easy. Easy Suave.
And which of my group chats are guys cool? D. Marinas is the only dude that is way good all the time.
What do you mean? Way good how? Way good how?
He just is.
All right.
Jacob has his days. You certainly have your.
No, I'm always in a good mood.
No, even when Maddie slits my throat, it's with kindness. It's very
He's
slow.
like, I love you.
I bleed out like a stuck pig. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, so that's funny by Kobe. The Big Ten conference presented by Riyadh season has a nice ring to it. You might be
I know you get mad at me for vibing with him. He's funny.
He has occasional fun. I don't get mad at you.
I think he's funny.
I'm generally out, but he has his moments. I'm gonna get for
and he said he likes Chinese.
For the
Zoe and I had Chinese. It was just the two of us.
That's
yesterday.
that's the saving grace is like, you know how many people like Chinese food? That's such a low bar of like, oh, I'll rock with him. He also likes Chinese food.
It's not the only reason.
Like there's not a billion people on the planet that agree.
No, it's fine.
I'm just saying. See, it's mutual. Kobe and I hate each other. It's fine.
I don't know. I doubt he hates you.
Well, he said, no, it's okay. I don't like Ravi either. He literally just typed that. So I think,
oh, did he?
Yeah. It's on
Dang,
the screen.
Kobe. See, I gotta stop vouching for guys that he got me earlier too.
I'm gonna wear the Team DB shirts. I'm gonna get one for Jacob.
But the Mahomes thing is a little ridiculous, right?
Which Mahomes part? Oh yeah, no, I mean that didn't happen. Yeah.
Oh, you can kill me over my smoker in the rain and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there's here's the thing: is you give people enough ammo, they don't have to make things up. I never do. What's your favorite thing that I do? And I go, oh, you mean when I accurately repeat the thing you just said?
Yeah, the food storage thing yesterday was going to get you canceled. That was kind of ridiculous. And apparently I'm supposed to bread and fry the hummus.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Don't fry those.
Golly.
I'm not a big fried. I'm not a big fried fish guy.
I got to figure out what to do with those razor clams.
I will do a like.
Can I saute?
I don't know.
Said fry them.
I've never had. I don't know if I've had clams before.
I have. It's like the poo-poo platter version at.
Oh,
Shucks.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's legit.
They usually are fried though. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I have a mini.
What are they called? Razor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Is there different variations?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not in like scallops. I know, like some of the other. I don't know clams very well.
I'm afraid to ruin that halibut too, but I'm gonna make a huge sandwich out of it.
I like halibut.
We don't have any like real frying oil though in our house.
You got to get some.
No, I'm figure out a different way. I don't want the house to smell, number one, but we do have burners that we put outside.
Yeah, you got to do it outside.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, man, you get that fan cranking. Just get that thing going. Doesn't do enough?
No. I tell you, I almost burned the house down yesterday.
No.
Legit.
What happened?
So, on a humbug, I was like, God, it smells like burning wood in here.
Oh, no.
What's going on? Went
no.
downstairs. I wanted to blame it on Zoe. There was a candle lit in the room, and we were Zooming, so I wasn't in there. And apparently, like, because the windows are always open when it's cold, like paper had blown close to the candle. Yeah, it was on fire.
Not great. Don't do that.
It's very fortunate.
Don't do that.
It's like, hey, what happened? I don't know. Candle was lit.
Listen, I got a little extra room. I don't know if I can fit all of you in the house.
Trust me, nobody wants to be with me. I'd be by myself.
I'll do my best, but man, well, I'll take you. They can find somewhere else to go.
See, listen, it wasn't me, Kobe. It was the wind.
It was definitely the wind. Somebody said they like crab a lot. I like crab.
So I've got salmon, I've got the clams, I've got halibut, and
I
have pink and is it sockeye? He gave me two different.
Oh
ones.
yeah. Can I give?
How about do you not appreciate my vacuum sealing skills?
No, it looked good. I was also appreciative of your meat fridge.
Oh, do you like that?
That thing is stocked, loaded.
That is a less special.
I looked,
and it is.
I looked at that thing and I go, where am I going to fit 30 pounds of fish?
You did well.
I figured it out.
Although I don't use the side door for much storage except for the packaged ground beef down there.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You did what you had to do. I disapprove. Who else am I going to be able to call and say, can you grab this off my porch?
Yeah. I was just happy I got all in there. I was like, listen, I'm sure he's going to rearrange this.
I did.
But I was like, we're going to get it in the fridge. I checked. I was like, make sure this thing is like nice and tightly closed.
Do you like my OCD habits?
No, I mean, listen, if you're going to have that much stuff in a freezer, you have to.
Yeah.
Like you have to be well organized. I appreciate that.
I was trying to price refrigerators because we need a new one.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Yeah, it depends on what you're looking for. Like none of them are cheap, but like they can get exorbitant.
And they don't last as long nowadays.
No, my mom's ice maker's been broke for 24 years, and she like is fancy.
Just refuses to. She's like, no.
Well, as long as it makes the good one. So hers makes the balls too.
Dang.
So the regular ice thing, she's fixed like 17 times.
Yeah.
But it makes the
like the
ones that
whiskey
look
balls or like
Yes.
the drink balls.
Yes, which is a waste for somebody that doesn't drink, but
Yeah, still nice to have.
I'd be super high functioning if my freezer made those at every whim. I would be like, go ahead, say it.
So it's different from normal, or
Hey, that's a secret.
1, 10.
you told me to do it. I was gonna eat it. It's okay.
For the record, I've been incredibly well behaved with a fragile psyche.
That's good. I appreciate that. That's probably for the best.
Ask Ben.
That's probably for the best. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, do you realize
Benny
between the
Mac?
two of us, we had a $31 tab.
Oh wow. That's like a drink.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
you know?
for me, like
Yeah, there you go.
Let's
Look at
go.
you. Let's be competitive. Let's go.
I'm trying, man.
Get it.
I am. I
You
I
know?
hate this time. I hate these 2 months.
I know.
It's
I know.
It's like
I know.
I gotta chill.
Gotta lock in.
Gotta lock
It's
in.
okay.
You
Say
know?
something positive.
It's all right.
I don't need. I was gonna say Bill mad at me, but I guess I did say it. Gonna chill these 2 months and get through
Just
it.
gotta lock in. You know, we're almost to November.
So do you think it would be to my detriment if we tried to find a freezer that did make those good ice?
Well, so here's the problem, right? It's kind of like cars. The more features it has, the faster it's gonna break.
Well,
Right. So like
Yeah,
your
so-
freezer in the garage is actually kind of perfect
I
because
found
it is
that.
just a freezer.
So
right?
Vers helped me. He moved that over with me.
Yeah.
You know how much I pay for that?
Under $100.
$60.
There you go. That looks like one of those like you found on Facebook Marketplace or something.
$60.
And somebody got a newfangled fancy garage fridge or something, and you're like, I'll take
And
that.
I went to go pick it up with him, and the lady who was over there, she was like, "Oh, 2 of you together?" You guys did get along in the 90s. She had to almost be 90. It was an absolute gem. I got it. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
That reminds me of one of the funniest things still was when we went to Lawrenson to film one of those videos, and we're walking in and we're filming, and some lady just walks by and goes, "That's Damon Benning."
Yeah, I don't know what it is with that age group.
Just zero awareness. Like we've got Kyle backpedaling with like a cinema camera, like a full ass movie camera, and she's like, "That's Damon Benning."
The lady at the lady by your guys' gas station.
Yeah,
I bet she was 60 plus.
Yeah.
I look old. I don't know.
Well, listen, everybody's got a demographic. That
Hey, did you
appreciates
like
them.
Foreman? Didn't he look fantastic?
No, he looks great.
Yeah,
he looks great. Like the kind of salt and pepper. Like he looks great. Thrown out a little bit.
So JR, I priced those things.
Which ones?
He said just get an individual or independent ice maker. So Rezak has one that's pretty sweet, but it makes the crushed. I like.
Does he have the nugget maker? Because that one's like $500.
Yeah, not doing that.
Yeah.
Like
the super nice one.
Hey,
like
you know what? Get me a pay raise. No. So
I think I did that recently.
Is that what that was? I wondered. Nobody told me.
Nobody told you?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was just different, and I was like, "Wait, what?" Oh, okay.
As long as it's different more, I'm not asking questions.
Well, it got screwed up the first 2 times, so I thought it was just like left over from something.
No.
I'm like, wow, 4 months in a row.
Mustard.
Anyway, yeah, Justin, we're gonna have to talk.
Yeah,
I need to figure it out.
So
I do feel like if I got the softball ice maker, that I would drink significantly more.
So they the softball ice makers are expensive, but like you can get a nice nugget. So there's like a super fancy one. It's like $500-$600. You can get a decent one for like $100-$150.
Okay, so
like
I love crushed ice. Right?
Yeah.
Just imagine how it would melt, how quickly it would melt with my choices.
I know.
It would defeat the purpose.
Yeah, for sure. Of all of your choices, it would defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't want that.
Do they have softball makers?
I think they do, but they are expensive.
Yeah, I'm not doing
the only ones I've ever seen that like independently will make the drink ice cubes, the big ball ice cubes are very expensive.
Mm.
It's a ordeal. It's a process.
What were you going to ask me about the narrative?
Oh, well, so we went into the season thinking that the Big 12.
Is it me and you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't we both think the Big 12 had the best quarterback depth?
Depth-wise, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe not the highest, like, top-end couple guys, but, like, they went about 12 deep, where you're like, I actually feel okay about that guy.
Yeah, there were a couple good quarterbacks in the Big 12 that we didn't draft.
Yeah, for sure. And so I look at
which I'd like to swap out for Lenore Sellers at this point.
Should we do, like, a midseason, like, you get a change one?
No, because
sure?
I know you want to. You want to swap out Aller, but no.
Well, I mean, he is – no.
We wouldn't give TK – we wouldn't let him get Retzloff back.
No, we gave him Drake Lindsay, though. We let him get a new guy.
Wait, we did?
Yeah, he drafted Drake Lindsay.
I wondered where he came from.
Yeah.
I think you might have done that without me.
I might have gone rogue, yeah.
Because I don't remember that.
Oh, it was on the text thread. You were on it. You just weren't reading it, probably.
Might have been having him.
It was on a thread with you, me, and TK.
I wondered where he got him.
Yeah, we let him get since Retzloff went to a non-power conference school. We let him switch.
And now he's in first place.
Yeah,
is it TK winning? It's like $1.75.
TK and Rawson are tied. They're tied at $1.75.
I don't need Suave.
Maybe we should
Suave and Action Jackson winning this thing.
Maybe we should do it where you have to change a guy. So even they, with their teams that they like, have to get rid of a guy.
Nah. I feel like we'd be making that up.
I made the whole thing up. What's the difference?
Okay, but here's the thing though. Who would you go get?
Yeah, I mean anybody who's still playing.
Give me Bryce Underwood.
Looks like
he's upright and has a pulse.
Yeah, just anybody who's not shelved for the year with a shattered ankle.
Can I ask you something about Michigan?
Yeah.
Are they good?
I change my mind every week.
Me too.
Because I thought they were gonna do to USC what Illinois did to USC, and they couldn't do it. And then they come out and they look good last week, and I'm like, well, what? I don't know who this team is. I think sometimes they look really good. I think they're immature. Maybe,
Yeah, maybe.
is that that's
Maybe.
there's a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of up and down with them. I also this is a weird thing to say. I think Biff Pogge's a better head coach for them than Sharon Moore is.
It might be.
I think they looked their best in the weeks that Sharon Moore was not there. And I don't know what to do with that information. Maybe Sharon Moore is a better recruiter than he is a head coach. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he has the best feel for what Bryce Underwood does or what he's capable of right now. Maybe he's playing the long game and trying to keep him healthy and whatever, but Biff's like, hey, yeah, this kid can get after it. We're going to win some games right now. I don't know. They are a very confusing team to me because they look super capable. And then when you're in a spot where you're like, hey, honestly, the USC Michigan game kind of felt a lot to me without the emotional investment of Nebraska and Minnesota, where I'm like, hey, Nebraska can do this. Minnesota's bad at this. This lines up great.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Nebraska just has to go through how they approach that game to grow.
But maybe the same thing's true for Michigan.
You had to take an L to do it.
Yeah, which sucks, right? You don't want to have to take an L to do it, but sometimes you do. We asked Coach Lamanji about this on Friday. How
was he, by the way?
He was good.
Yeah.
Dude, Rico made a joke, and I was like,
did he laugh?
But he did laugh.
Oh, okay.
So he goes, Coach, would you like to deny the rumors that you're in the running for the Penn State coaching job? He's like, no, if they'll hire me, I will take it. He's like, do they need somebody to clean the floors? I'll do that too.
Well, good for him.
No, he was good. But I asked him about the Central game. I was like, hey, obviously you never want to take a loss, and it's been a long time since you guys have lost in the regular season, but how has that helped you? And he's like, oh, it absolutely did. It is, because, sometimes coaches hate the wake-up call thing, but it is a real thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to get kind of your head adjusted.
Well, Nebraska, so here's the thing, right? Because there's so many lessons.
Mm-hmm. Potential.
Don't pay attention to the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Understand where you are as a program. Bring it every game. Focus on a short. There's a ton of lessons. Will they have the opportunity to have it be practical again?
Ooh, against who would it be practical again?
So the next one they'll have to learn is you can't let one team get you twice.
Yeah, so that's Northwestern.
Okay.
USC is interesting. I don't think USC isn't they hate you and will beat you up team.
No, but
they are more
blackout, lot of hoopla.
Expectations.
Let's say you win, then you got to go on the road.
So there's two teams I think that are left, maybe three, that could present this exact same challenge again.
Okay.
UCLA, Penn State, and definitely Iowa. Because Iowa hates you the way Minnesota does.
Correct.
And they will be physical the way Minnesota was. So Iowa's the one
Penn
first.
State is Penn State, though. They're not going to sneak up on you.
No, they won't.
I don't care what you think they are. It's still Penn State.
They won't sneak up on you, and it won't be a helmet thing, but there is a measure of, hey, will they just outwill you? I don't know what that team looks like 3 weeks from now or whenever that game is. That, Penn State's a total wild card to me. I also don't know what UCLA looks like 3 weeks from now. Also a total wild card. So that's why I put them in there, because I think those.
Are you secretly hoping that the coach effect, they got their bump already?
Yeah, I'm hoping the wheel. I hope both of them got their bump already.
They look real
in the
pedestrian against Maryland.
Yeah, I hope the wheels fall off and it's over.
But they did win.
Yeah,
although they did
they tried not to.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do with either of those teams.
How would you like to be Maryland right now with these last 3 weeks?
I mean, not great.
Your fourth, yeah,
I wouldn't feel good. You're full on.
I was surprised they kept fighting.
Mentally, you got to feel like you're sort of in full on collapse mode in
after
the fourth
pick or the tip pick.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they may
figure it out.
Yeah.
That's one of those where that's how you know. That's how when I think about it, hey, that's in their head. But it's when you get something, you're like, oh, maybe that's finally the thing that turns the tide and something good happened to us, and then you still aren't able to finish it out. That's where I feel like, yeah, that's in their heads at this point. Because that used to happen in Nebraska all the time, right? We'd always be searching for this thing. It's oh, they finally got a late break. Maybe this will be the time where they break through on the one-score games or whatever, and then Nebraska would still find a way to lose. That sort of feels like what's been happening with Maryland the last few weeks.
What's Nebraska Northwestern?
Ooh, let's take a look. I haven't looked yet. Do you want to guess? I have not looked yet.
I will guess Nebraska 5.5.
I was gonna say 3.5. We have 6.5.
Okay.
So you're close. You win.
Okay.
Nebraska by 6.5. Let's see where it opened. I wonder if that's the opener, if it's moved at all.
6.5.
Oh, God.
What?
It opened at 9.5.
Oh, I could see that. What's the total?
Total is 43.5. Opened at 43.5.
Yuck.
Stayed at 43.5.
That's high. That is
43 is high?
Yeah.
That's
a monster number.
40?
For both teams.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think so.
That's an ugly football game at 43.5.
So 23-20? Like that's kind of how you see this?
Lower.
Interesting.
I was thinking it was going to be low-scoring game for Nebraska coming up on this one, not the one that we just had.
Does 43 seem high?
If it's an under, it doesn't seem high. If it's an under, I think Northwestern wins. Like that's the type of game Northwestern wins is an under there.
Shane, I get it. It's a sports take that's not hockey or golf, so I have a hard time taking you serious.
Yeah, but look at the other games they played against Northwestern. They've been low-scoring games like that. It's just the way it works for that game.
I don't know.
I mean, I hope not. We need scores. We didn't have squat for that last time.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong.
Shane texted me. He goes, "I'm going to burn the tape from that one."
Hey, do you know? Hey, so you know how I know Nebraska's in a pissy mood?
How's that?
So my kid comes to Omaha, doesn't say a word, drops a sweatshirt off on the porch, leaves, and texts afterwards. Never stepped foot in the house.
And didn't say a word to you?
Not one.
Just drove 2 hours to drop a sweatshirt off?
And bolted.
That seems like a Micah move. Right?
Yeah, I was going to say a different word, but it means the same as Micah. Yeah, that happened.
Oh, man. What else is going to happen is October 31st, we've got a live show here at the Sports Bar. Make sure you get to Eventbrite, search Hurrdat Sports Live, and join us. DB may or may not be in a onesie. We're trying to convince him. We're going to see what we can do here.
An orca or a shark onesie.
We will we'll have all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet. You can order drinks as well.
We don't beat Northwestern. I ain't coming. Just go ahead. And
just shut it down.
Go ahead and get that out of here right now.
Just be like, Rico and Austin are hosting that day.
This dude said 43. That seems high.
Hey, if we lose, 43 is going to be high.
I agree. If Northwestern wins, it'll be under. I agree.
And we do not want that.
There and just put my thumbs right on his esophagus.
Well,
see how
what
long
do you want
before he starts turning purple.
What do you want?
That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.